Yeah, remember this way chocolate drink. Do you hear any institution, any special ice mineral water, madama, and anope, yet here has no. And then, about a fundamental issue, when you say this week in you can't budget once a month, and in a very dramatic voting, our parliament. Mrashebedium, aje a budget on atum. Into ya ne a tiabonti and entria can any entria petroni entria the enina and a yamutu, ye po, ibitia. Say parliament approve budget so yempo yebetua now even before parliament be approve budget na four prices cost through until we already paying until we nya ade bia enwon bia esa but one of the issues are ene anope be kan wasem and say be people's budget minu mienu Ghana for na etonton onema wo ka kwan ho wo me wo domi market wo me WhatsApp market wo me wo aswase kejetia wo me wo bantama wo me wo adeso market tema ashama market kwase edu atotema committee 1 tiptoe lane numni ade okanshi mumu budget anything eson budget of members of parliament they akwakotu yo it said the state of the nation address and anu excellency na Danko Kufuado o man penidi ko to your parliament who choose state of your nation of your pocket anything said na president Kufuor kan show asitem na to aba enti anopei me show nkran say wa fa on say wura o pocket mu na kankan wadwene ekosi wo bank accounts mo na hwe say sempoa ne takuo abi wo mu ana ebi ni mu a that is the state of your economy ensio kane ana yesi yanum no free use no free no yesi entua ka no eno what is the state of the economy na Ghana ka ye debt e ka ye de a emre oman no but eno a ene nansa yero agabiasa yo chida ko bia nim se ono de aban yi wo chen vice president kura ewum ono a tweet say Ghana ewo crisis menyame na mekon gabiasa yo chida ko say Ghana sikasem is in a crisis na no dey to aso aka bi say there's no time for anybody to even contest say opese obedi na nado ade kona nado ne term you kura so yen ko ba bia budget kura ye hu asem nkan na before bi asate ye na ye ne obedi na nado ade na obedi na ade na nado no pese mo de ne ko sha adaka mnemu ansa na asa den e na mo pe no we completely unacceptable but ye kura de no de enfa ho the obedi na nado ade o the obedi your mama ade o eno anye ye case for now no ye here ye bread and butter it you can ani nsuo eno a me koto kan a 300 Ghana about 400 Ghana cedis ye give me NHIL ye give me VAT 12.5% other taxes ni nyina just for a year kan na makoto no these are all issues ye tetew e di free eno koto petrol ni nyina aka ho ene ye ba be kan wa se ye nuanum e wo kumase ebi wo tiptoe lane ebi wo kanshi ebi wo miamia wo do ne ombe kasa na ebusa the state of the nation na kasa ana budget pa said omo hunu and afei so ye be call eyemra shebedwom na onim se committees bebre ye in fact enemy in the parliament is sitting enemy in the parliament na se o adwuma no omo ye no so enye adwuma bete sa nti ye be ko ma ye ni mpedifo akese be twetwe enkomo opening kese eye afija asokore mrashebedwani ewo studio obeboa ya me yate nsem ni nyina ase from the finance committee no ye doctor ni o sign a finance person and anu ya CIMG for crabo na baso say doctor ni awa bin wo sikase mu sa de omo ntan say doctor for the nke the operation anu omo ye ase na podi no na so ye doctor no san wo other talent na other expertise sign account he's also a member of the finance committee tie obe break budget down actually say mumma ban na tia konwa so MPP for mu ka say mbeto taxes mu say ne nka abato ye hu say ne beto no 2016 ya to amama wie mu be increase taxes ama Ghana sika say ma ye tro kan dia ene no e wo so obechim to aba obechechim sa so na Dr. Wusu Edusa akode e chade economics department University of Ghana Legon ono so studio ha no ma obecheche the true encounter no omo de omo ye economics yo womo nye politicians na ka wo se honorable bawa ebe kan ho e wo studio be ne be kasa wo zoom ni Facebook na ide nkomo no atwetwe so ne ebe kokrom se de kan ne omanfo na kasa the true people of Ghana moto aba no a wo na full trotro Uber Taxify ni ade enye V8 na V8 no kora no tax ya to mu e na abo ebusiafo follow na fo adwenche no questions a opesi ebusa ebra na ye buta ni nyina emma e wo critical issues so me ba sisi e fa me vim lady Afia Pokua.
Yankie susu se ya bra bobekɔ no enye saa na mpempi na kɔma yɛ na sadom bɛdom wa mo nya wote didimu a agye se wonya yɔnko a wode wo ho bɛtwere no na wonya hotoso se ensuo mo awiem o ɔka ho abribia se woyɛ sika hye wudwa wobotire na wopɛ se wote wo so tɔ ne mu mekyerɛ se ɛmfa wo ne adwuma ko a woyɛ o anasempo wo pɛ bietia wo ma school fees ɛne amedi asempa na mo Best Point edifufro bia ba eno ne Best Point susu scheme die wasa wo ya ne se de bia da fa wo simpo ana wo tepo eto Best Point susu scheme ni mu na yempese wo bebre nti yenkrofo ankasa beba wo naso abegye wo bomodi etua mani drabo so mienu dia menua wo wa kwanya gebosia ede sorte wo hawo nyina the Best Point susu scheme any kasubo moe to susu na jebosia bosumi mienu achi ya brewo nhihye pa edwene wo ho enti fa won to mabebo Best Point susu scheme dia no na die Best Point susu scheme boa wo sika no na chane bocho
Hey, that's my girl.
Daddy.
Yes.
Please, can you help me with my homework?
No problem. Go on, okay?
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yes.
Aprepensa with koto, aka club, momone, smiling fish, and a kobe, and abekwanya adiacheso.
Okay. How do you prepare it? How do you prepare it?
Preparing. Just for part the question we are mabuta kolazo cancel it and make it this way. Cancel it.
This way chocolate drink.
You ain't getting this here. You just to prepare it. You can take it anytime, every day, everywhere. That's my girl.
This way chocolate drink.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Abitiafo Sam Makwaba bio critical issues anope ene day 12 UTV eso no join the conversation ana komo a ye be boneta se fa ho e fa me ho petrol bo e be kosro enra parliament age atum se budget de wo de be ye adwuma MPP fo nya 137 NDC fo enya 134 utum se de na ne ma ne koso de na de be ya ena na aye no because they say the budget parliament akwakoye split parliament 138 137 chese independent ya ogina wo formena pe ene wonta unity no de bia voting abato ana approve bia bekoso no tension ebeba parliament no akra ka dey say omo share parliament sitting na se kwa na honorable right honorable speaker no ni akonwa no so nti na honorable Joe Wise Joe say usu be kwa mrahye bedwani na ete akonwa no eso dina afi de akwakoye afi minority or majority obi ade oyare MP oyare kra no a yetamomu nyina edo omukọ parliament so omukọ no omukọ to about this is where democracy has come to. And no there a good pa am but opay share budget e ho asem what is the true state of Ghana economy your budget is asem any ade nyina ni nyina ehwe a ne de nyina aka ho na ye de abase de make an penifo akese wo hanum say mi sabe nkum so Dr. Edu Owusu sa akode e economics department University of Ghana Legon ebe boa me yate numbers no asem sanso ena mrahye bedwani ya wogina omanfo a chese ono abo se efija ne de bia ya ne aye no remix enye sa na ne constituency di no etienti o say etumi ye na ye de constituency na kase di no correct one e de ba se de ba obi a be hu because etre bia ni sika kra no de be ba no ho na akakodi another constituency because constituency ni di no ese honorable Dr. Nanaya we free MPP mrahye bedwani efijase asokore enye efijase asokore so honorable o se honorable akwaba Afia so ho ye de masan de bia fa
o se first prime minister kra MPP kra mpo printi me di no oye Nanaya we free ade ye EU free
enti nana ne ka ho
nana EU free na oye ne yaw
me ya ne yaw oh
ye kwa me nyanya yaw ye
Oya ya kran kenye ya bonye Yam papa no ya fonye. Ya fonye nti yesa onye ya. Nti ya that's it. But no mo na free abema waba. Na said na make no ye medical doctor. O san ye finance person. Budget we mo na mo te finance committee no so mo na mo ye ho adwuma krata na ba parliament committee of the whole ama committee no ye ho adwuma no mato aba no approve budget no ye be call man for so no mo de true state of mo ankasa so omo botom e de ato ye ni. But what is the intention of this budget? I dream be na we actually is this the budget e betimi revive Ghana economy na?
Okay, the kind matcha ETF especially if you just as a call for maybe I'm moving now. If you budget na Nana Danko Kufuado, ya de bra Ghana for no a budget basically no Boni Beka say they see last year Afia Chemui coronavirus no a natural disaster say bia adia one susu say odo ho be kwa kokoshim na abesi na akoye say one budget one fa bibia am to hono musa oye budget kakra e to hono musa e bia BBC a na nso no de abesi ye no ene ne nsunsu aso no omanfo na nkesa na echi omo e ma nipewu ohwe odofo na the way e beti si mu no e wo wiase ni na no na akoba se e wo se wo so no uko wanim kakra ekohwehwe sika any loans busia kese na ode beje omanfo esan se ekrom ebeko yie yebeye politics aban yie yobeye ebeko nanim a ina no eye ejina nipadua no so ana ejina nipa ne so nti yare aba eho aduro ni ho ebi nsida na edi how ahete se ebaye no ema bibia prekope ejaye ebi ye shutdown no se lockdown na ne yesimuntina fie mu mpia bonten na carpenter for mason for organizer for na wono ho kire wo mo na ebi wu I mean yade a ede yawba pa eyie nko weyie nko sie odofo bi asori na yentumi nko nti saa mre no ne besi ne no na che se e wo se aban ekogege loans akese e de beboa na wo hwe spending na aban spending ye na eko anim bebre ena na sika so a ye hwe se yensa beka afi atwemu no aban enya ne sa kra esan se obia bibia se ye nti aban ho be kire no ena ade na nkasa no se ukọ amamu a anka eye taxes ya if you are okay ena na edibu man taxes ena edibu man but in prebebre no ye budget no ye hwe sika ye benye free de e beton ni na ne esomfaso ne de e benya sika e benya wo mu a eno ne sika e wo se ye de ye de tua ye loan ye de tua omo ye adwuma ye de ye impuntu dwuma no sika ye benya wo Ghana afe no endru de ye pede ye sahade no nti e bebebe na wo se ye koje busia ne ye de behye na eso wo so de inya ekwedidi anya mba che se sika na wo pe kakra no eso akotia from baby akoduru from ohun say we yese o pese ya beka ho de wo pe no esan de esi ye nti no akofom atikra na che se wo no ho akochiru bebre wo se aban ekwan bia so baby na ewo no akoduru se na wo se okope ha de yi na eso ha so de wo san so ekope wanfa ankoye tax nguye so oyiyi ebi free so health workers obeka ya omo pay saa time no na wo say eno na nkode tax beto yeso nso oma oto omo pay mu because mo na mokogudi ekonanim muso se mokosuro yare na ene na eku obia ntimo de mokọ na se bia mo bi krampo no ehwere mu a ye hwere mu a munim se yetumo pay mu nti no bibi ahoden bi eba se momfa enkodi ekonanim nti president ye niam bebre pension fund no okoyu sika wo mu a na ndru se na ebobo ekodru a na ye tew tax 15% eno so yi free ho o ma ye yi niam no 52 electricity insuo o ma ye yi ho tax consumption ebi ekodu 50% ebi oyi tariffs bi a wo mo so ni na no ye saa niema na ye free electricity so ni nsuo ni saa de no emra na wo ho chiwo na o sika sem kofo no na enye saa time na ye saa time na wasanka president odi bi krampo beto so na odi nya sika but o ka se wo de ye ma ye ho nto yen na ono emfa ehaw no na onko ama no nko pesika na emfa membership enti ama ho chiraba because
eno na ye the main cause am economy no aba from no sa health workers revenue and money
baby ana spending ni drew no assuming say baby ana death baby ana ya sika sem drew no se empo no anka fiwei sanka unse sika no de obabosia utue bi na eso ate kakra wa bobi ehiem na watue bi sesi ya no baby ya da no yakotra akoduru baby a sika krampo no okọ boro sesi ya krampo na eyewo din because I was sanka baby a na revenues tete no sanka ye sika ni bitua ye anka won si aba from kakra na asanso abobi a hyenti ye gina baby a ye won ba sesi ya no yakọ cross akoduru baby a okoji bi kranka ho a edima. So
the crisis situation
exactly. So the only option So the only option na aban ebinyane say in this case no obehwe how loans bia ye say ye kwaje last year emma ye boni bekoso a honsa ebeki how loans how ye betimi tua bibi kitwe bi na enye Ghana krampo so wo hwe African countries here Botswana started, South Africa started.
Omo bobosia.
Debi.
Omo raise taxes.
Raise taxes. The concept is more of like wako with GDP and as sika was a wunyano akofo. Inti the school of thought, like I always say in economic policy, school of thought, economics is any one answer. Waha. Depending upon the way you will argue. Another person will say, okay, like I don't go cow floor. Say I was anke austerity because austerity in a recession there say wo if any say oho na o I was say wo twitwa obi bia so but obi so be catch you say oho chirewa na say economy no kofom a ejumaku kofom ye yi nkofo edia eho na aban eboa yi taxes na o stimulate na amount for start say coben indeed obiana the size of the argument is found in economic theories and principles, but for us the economy a mixed system me it say untimi nkoka say entirely say odie obeye boni ebeka sa ade no market forces then the akokabro for akese I was still no unya tema free market economy where obeka say demand and supply if you produce ade no meto charge the obey misu hetua ye ni bisa ye ha no how doson into at the end in time the government was all transfers they say leap yeah over ohwe
but leap cannot account for the because government expenditure government revenue sika eto aye jeje no eso te no by 13.6 billion no. Now buying so expenditure so cost 11.7 billion. A hona issues no one. A hona focus a buying te on so but Mamma also while you look for the leap numbers so that we look at a DM panty nama ye drew crisis. Said the Gabi Kase no muton say we are in a crisis.
No, but Gabi is speaking. I mean, his mind.
He's speaking his mind.
Gabi is not this. I mean, this is the document, but he is explaining from his perspective.
But document now doesn't show say your crisis.
This is the absolutely. I'm telling you, sir. Even in the midst of Sadia way, no, yet NAFCO, you best spending over 600 million. You yearly transfers. When we say in the midst of no, still no. Oh yeah, actually. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Inti okay say austerity to say NDC for Ekanya. Okay. Na say I was say NAPCO no you go no.
Okay, okay.
Leap you twem. Na sa sika na ye de call sa transfers no. Ye de call share impuntu adwumem. But ni yeso say agidi say ni pedua na nkasa ye capital.
Okay.
Ni pedua na nkasa na wo be man free SHS no. Ye capital because we call ABF here. Over 700 million of Sika was sank yedi ye kwan. Yedi koshe free SHS. that is in Kwalao, Yadachi, Oma, a better Ghana, Oma Ghana Besho Monsa, Oma Omon Kono Sebi, Oma almost being Kobok Chrono, because at this young or Nanyan San or Ubet me and no aye, Juma, etching say, a yaw beba umwa, Obekakobokro. It there are difficulties in the budget. You still have to maintain Adiche. So what you say?
It's a crisis.
At the same time, you know, I was say unya eka ho a ede ye beko ye nimu no in terms of loans no ye tight. And until na other countries, they say Botswana move VAT from 12% to 14.
They call 14%.
Yes, February. Yeah.
Okay.
You can check as they are doing. Yes. The pollution tax, they said the sanitation, plastic bags, almost so almost the biabek ho. Almost the fuel price and almost to by $0.09. Okay. Almost sounds when increasing excise taxes on tobacco. Just say almost they know about 8 taxes.
Good. Which is new for just 2021.
New for meanwhile no last year no motete nemaso Botswana. Ahon che ne baye no. Omo eyi taxes free ho. Okay. But ohwe literature na February ye omo hu say yare aba no. Ye nim say me ma wo vaccine. There ya no say wa wo vaccine ya ka che wo say vaccine krambo no. Obewa wie no. Ye nim dadodo a betimi ama wo.
Protection.
Protection. Na ya sanso catcher o say ya re ne kra no say wunya wo vaccine ntin e ma ne antimi wo saa na che say obetumi anya na enso so e be yese de wanya e wa kitu e bi ne ekọ. So the uncertainties are high. And in economic management, when you are in a situation like this with high uncertainties, na che say next year no one person can develop economic model to tell me say yare no ebeko next year because yes econo and December no winter cycle no start here until yebeko and we will be here research da na yakokwe longitudinal cycle na trend bi na say yakokwe research bi ahwe say eba e net say abesi yes here so not until we cross the winter cycle again to be sure say amano then confidence will start coming. Investment will start coming.
Into crisis,
you and myself in health, like I speak here in OBATME, in health economics, which I majored in. You cannot determine when obey yare. Sanko be in da obey yare, and ka obey save the secret to her say me be yare. Anything obey health insurance, boa in here for no, sebi social health insurance. And no be boa we say motua e de me ho akwhye NHIS.
Okay.
It is me be yare a e be hwe me.
Okay.
Na de owo sika de owo sika o yare a e be boa. And yet we economy na yare. Yare a enim say next year no kram e chronic. And yes acute say see a wo yare na echo.
Okay.
Ye nim say de abeto ye no. Ye de sika ha hyemu no. Ye bo ho bosi ama ye ho kire ye no. Ya tum taxes no ye nim se ebekwa na se enko and ye nim do obefim ene se eyam ya na se eye obi.
I think you know you're very economy ni yare and ye ni areshem bia so ochne economy ni ho beto no and economy ni ho nto no nti Ghana economy na it's COVID nankasa.
Absolutely.
I hate to say COVID nankasa ache no.
With high degree of uncertainties.
Okay.
That's it.
So Doc, una oye from economics department, una uni munkunta ni mpacho echemu economy e yare ana. Because I know so what can this issue are now honorable raising about free SHS. I know you have raised this issue about say tax exemptions on kwa the companies akese ni esikafo. Sanke ye ti and also because budget estimate this year 3 billion. Can you come free SHS? Yeah. But some people see they have the men. So I don't know whether honorable manya suggestion honor doc they buy and say come to tax exemption so can no bet me free SHS. Na mo here but doc asema no can no kwese economy ni yare.
Say honorable about say okasa economy.
So yeah finance. The masters no finance.
I did my first.
Yes, one of my lectures in the PhD level health economics.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Exactly. Good. Is where the health economics I said
good.
COVID no at the two major crises and a we are seeing health crisis and an economic crisis. If we are seeing now Ghana nkwa health crisis no yare na ankasa say infect here no unexpectedly. And health expenditure, a year or say a buying to my forms of about 24,000 health workers or so to Muninaka. And 50% can say allowances or the health frontline workers. Then those crises now on the health side. Then economic crisis now COVID the buy and so you want if be a demand shock and supply shock. Demand no consumption. Just say obu why say a hotel for ye uncle for di say a year lockdown men pie na wo hye dem untimi kwa bonte na uncle to bibi eni enti ene fe no consumption na say ye obi nso adi a onye sika enkoto nyoma oboso oto no ana ye wo aggregate supply shock production shock and so ye omo ye nwuma no and so no sabio adwuma na o ye no kra wonye obi mpo meto de o ye no wanya homfa so ne ade enti crisis na a present ye no major two crisis, health crisis and economic crisis. And under economics no you were demand shock and supply shock in terms of consumption and production. Na position ye presenting this year ama the focus of today's discussion nyamiadum Ghana ye demand shock and supply shock no enye so huge like other countries because we know say France for omo third wave enti omo kwa dey say omo be call lockdown bill enti Ghana ye free sa demand shock and supply shock no ya tete ye ho na ade higher mam say honorable Gabini honorable oti here can bad crisis na the fiscal position na no me hu newspaper bi omo twa physical me be straight for say enye physical fiscal 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 newspaper ho we have said was a physical consolidation and I head of department said man say sack on Crawford fiscal consolidation fiscal revenue and expenditure and the crisis I you no canon the fiscal crisis.
Okay.
Consumption and production and them say yatiti ho. The same say Ghana even if we budget the more mama reliefs for production, incentives for production. Taxes now is on consumption, which means say yatiti ho. So because your economy is about 80% informal. And to say who be yourself the ancient mass na yempien kodi dwana part of the economy no yes. In fact, last time I catch you say the economy was healing by itself. Even without
before COVID
before government intervention, the economy was healing by itself. Because, for example, say economic activity be related to education. Time out to school, no. Say uncle for one book ne pen stationery for no. Omusi car perform. Na me the University of Ghana night market example. Time omutu to school. We want to me and na market wo. And then ye be school no be corner business is booming. Ewo bookshop e ho nyina ye ma. Enti with the easing of restrictions, the economy is healing by itself. Now, fiscal crisis is not there. That's who. Fiscal crisis.
The economy yare said they no cano.
Fiscal side no still a yare because that is their focus. The focus is on revenue and expenditure. How do we balance revenue and expenditure? Now, can be said or say honorable be make suggestion say in times of difficulties you cut down your expenditure. Now, okay. It depends on which expenditure you are talking about. Say be our say President motor kid no dos want to swa me ne ya adwene.
Okay.
O ka say be a
President ministers.
Yes, want to swa me ne ya adwene. But o can be say sika yemfa nkoye nsuo yemfa nkoye kania yemfa yente so dia me ne ya adwene because 1929 Great Depression, 2008 global financial crisis. Omo nyina kire ye say time our economy no air conform no government must borrow and spend.
Hey, where the any come honorable?
It is economic theory. In times of economic slowdown, governments must borrow and spend. Last year, friend, me catch you say, Bosia, Banu Kwaji, IMF, World Bank. We know we are doing. We must borrow and spend. That was last year.
Okay.
But this year, no, the dynamics have changed.
Okay.
Now every country in the world is going by what we call the inward-looking approach. Inward-looking, it just say. And only fiscal consolidation na air can. First of all, obete Bosiano so.
Okay.
Until last year, and I may argue me too about was almost Bosiano spending.
Okay.
This year they made 24 on so.
On Bosiano.
Yes.
Exactly.
But this year so no beje Bosiano more
no,
because
promises are why rate of accumulation now what is
What is this year?
It's a Uchika.
Okay.
Uchika ko speed 120 kilometers per hour. Near say minia anwia okwam ensu ato entijina. Unyina at once ubo break na obe hwiase.
Okay.
Enti obe ti speed no so.
Okay. Okay.
Enti government Bosiano speed no what so to the extent say be obedu baby no na wagina kakra. Menye sure say obetima zero borrowing. No country can do zero borrowing. In fact, even if zero external cry, domestic they still have a borrow. Enti speed no on better so. That is number 1. Number 2, so person Bobosia I was so more of domestic than external.
Bosiano or Ghana ha?
Yes.
Can say
because of exchange rate.
Okay.
Because dollar near America for local currency, Ghana for foreign currency. Enti the exchange rate ni gine ho America for enkan wo mu. Ghana ebe kan In fact,
now no year calculation because now see between 2000
yeah 2006 and 2019. Yes, sir, analysis no. Exchange rate no kwa peja Ghana kanamu 61 billion Ghana cedis. Enye sika physical cash obi kwaji you.
Exchange rate
Na e cost no kwa 61 billion from 2006 to 2019. 2006 na Ghana can 5 billion. 2019 na Ghana can 218 billion. 218 billion emu 61 billion the effect of the exchange rate. Enye physical cash obi kwaji ye. Enti can external borrowing there. That is the cost of external borrowing. In fact, America for more debt service as a ratio of your tax revenue and grant 10%. Debt service as a ratio of tax revenue and grant debt service interest payment plus amortization. That's mutual amortization. Amortization.
Dr. Saidi Subeche.
Say a kana wa ya boda da no nim raso so be kwa kutua and the further amortization. Last year, budgeted 12 billion, but they ended up paying 14 billion.
Okay.
And into the Ghana spending at the cost. This year, amortization is 15 billion. Interest payment here 35. Okay, 50 billion. Now, all expression as a ratio of tax revenue 91%.
Serious?
And your tax revenue na Ghana afi we benyano. Emu say one cedi emu 90 pesos. 90 ekutiaka. Into America, they are 10%. No, what the year, what the back as a ratio of total revenue and grants here, what number 70%. Into America, for the year 10%, no, they are over 70%. And 20 million go to America for. And until now, the advice now is that governments must be inward looking. Until me kwa breach, now the third option, and it's over Pesca or Ghana. Apart from say Obobosiano, while revenue no. Yeah, domestic revenue mobilization. I was so baby wa and on that tax and a part of it. And me, first of all, my position with the tax and they say I wasn't expecting taxes this year. Before the budget was read, I wasn't expecting taxes this year. But the real most imposed taxes and just say a very strategic. I have gone into the taxes a very, very strategic. Now maybe I buy about so say it almost say na me expected taxes, but or the tax in the buy, and so they make sure say anchor production or the back consumption.
And you know never can hear for Kesiano.
And also almost almost very strategic. Almost indirect tax organ have VAT can home a regressive in nature. Just say I can't hear for change. But the budget also has been very smart to go behind the back door to cushion the poor.
To cushion, they normally cushion poor.
Subsidies, electricity subsidies, water subsidies, they are still given to the lifeline consumers.
Yeah.
Oh, Besine.
Yes, almost extended to June.
Almost people's assembly.
Because I blame the government communication machinery. They have not been able to explain to the people say, and so no, can you channel almost extended to June in the budget.
Now, what's why extended? That's a we be anam dey need lifeline area because me say dey me I'm sure say me can't lifeline.
I feel na budget ya
appropriation cramp for your appropriation.
Okay, mo
ya budget ya approve. Appropriation price yet to be approved. Enti sika bia ya kan budget no finance minister entimi nko spend.
Enti
say what to Kenya nra na say yeah can say one ton say na osi pena nya abotre because budget na fe na parliament for ko approve omo ko giatum na omo gitum wi a asa na subsidies na ba na omo wi na omo anwie ho a omo sa de call taxi drivers any trotro drivers because ya tofu amu a the likely we say omo first mu no very high enti omo call omo ho no omo say okay mo income tax rebate de amamo enti senka bia ya tofu am tinka amato mo taxi fare no bia 10 cedis ya bia 10 pesos ya mamuntumu sa bia 10 muntumu bia 7 and 8 because of the income tax rebate de amamo no enti everything because menye sure say ya tunu na boom to first, they will go into negotiation with the transport unions.
Yeah, but Afia started to Mudada, and that is why I
for the
yes,
because budget no approve here.
Yes, we now can a road transport coordinating council. Yes, or approach to a GPI2 cooperative. I don't match the first.
Exactly,
but already
Bako intimate got to first. Okay, I was say omo transport unions here negotiation. No mka say ya was saying ya tumu be at 10 pesos. But abanzo say your income tax no or their chair for the next for the third and fourth quarter no enti anke batum 10 yantum bia 7 and 8 na Ghana for ho en ha mu kakra enti the cushioning for the poor no they are still on it leap year honorable kan wan say me which is very good over 1.5 million Ghanaians 1.5 million extreme poor people and are benefiting from the leap. All the other social intervention programs, free SHS, National Health Insurance, those they are still keeping them, and they are necessary. They are necessary.
And nothing I don't go more kase. So in any case,
no
conflict of interest for even MPP for.
Yes.
So your friend saying conservatives.
Yes.
Conservatives enye uko America Donald Trump uko for. And you are no chance you or check any ade. Even this COVID a year, Sika Kakra, the Mankofo. Omuka break, cry, son of Donald Trump, cry, agree, say, obey to your Mankofo. Into a then a what? Moye Ghana, Trump for Ghana Republicans, conservatives. More Maswa a Kanya, ensure. And then NDC focus a populist
campaign theatre.
Why? And then last week, now Dr. Said Boachiwa say a lot of the policies are more ama economy no said you wow can because of populist policies. Monsieur Kania, Sania Manem, populist.
I'm not surprised.
When say I want chere beba, but say me check Kania, me change you. Say a baby, wow, say economy yare. And so still also change you check Kania.
It was necessary.
How is that necessary?
It was essential.
Yes.
It was essential. It was essential for government to intervene.
Yes.
And not because of elections.
I supported the open the year campaign. And then you blame who politicians in the year campaign. But pure economic theory supports it. Until you can say campaign on the year and the idea among for myself. Omuni and this from coffee so about the way they use it to campaign. But the economic theory supports government intervention program. The market fails. The market can always fail. And I'm a boss of the year and Fatu say a crassy so Udia Baira. So if you believe in the market, Udia Baira and can see a home by a friend and say, Diana this is home your friend. Yes. That is the illustration my boss the man say if the market cannot fail unka Udia Baira and Kajano men no more. But because there's the need for government intervention. Tin ye di dua si ho se de be ya ahoma ne be foro. So uja economy ni sa say enye demand and supply and nke be wu. And senka school inka can say scafo man kwa na be ko school. Can here for man to be in school.
Okay.
There's always the need for government intervention. In times of in times of economic slowdown, government must borrow and spend.
On that issue. Government must borrow because the same abayin eshe boss on the ombe and obia bobesia. That's the politics of it.
But nobody anticipated the COVID crisis.
Well, say Theo.
And you must have politics.
And the politics. But again, that is also the issue. NDC forecast. Senamu claims the economy was on solid. It was growing in leaps and bounds and yamobro for the tekwen can leaps and bounds. Say jinane na so a e dey na COVID born and it will be affect the economy yari to the extent say comatose. life support to cry. I said Mahama Bekin. Life support to cry. We can't resuscitate the economy to the extent I was see a day taxes. Said a dog okay. A necessary say a day taxes. But if the economy was good,
yes, the economy no, and yet a judging put say good. Normally, no other agencies be a Standard & Poor's, Fish, all of them. What the upper share from the negative outlooks in B, all of them put you on BB stable and quiet. We on for so more. I'm on the barber check it. And a baby I would done some of the to into call more ratings. There has been 100%.
And now more cookie figures because that's the allegation said.
International
more cookie mom.
The statistical service only UN agencies need none of here Juma. Indeed, untimi kuku service. Almost a water discuss service, Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance, almost a technocrat. It be NDC for or you Juma or better but or you Juma because are you professional and na obiso so a supervisor no and na wo cookie figures yeah internationally no the omobema penalties and on na NDC time no say central bank governor be Dr. Dofo omokoye bia e ma Akufo ba ye no omoma ye tua penalty of about $20 million. Never in the history of Ghana and ya in case ade ni biom enti ye de ho de ye buye ho we won't go to that point yam ba form to that point in call deceive hwan ya omo baba be you to ma fe de omo bia be hu se mo kra mo nka no kre so won fa ho call that level and kuku I guess
but is it not true say mo ka say economy ni gina naso na dey enye politics na mo dey but ata ma mo ka say economy ni gina naso truly the economy ni gina naso ana
economy no absolutely no from baby economy ni gina naso say relatively engina de naso a eni anka IMF no omo course no mo tan e why did you go to IMF in the first place? President Kufuor to IMF. And a GH Mincha catch us say, hey, as of my mouth, say we are going out of IMF and never again would we go to. And so no, buy no, bomodia economy ni could doom pepper so be you call IMF. And no chance you cannot manage your own things. So me fifia ko ware. Me koye no so no gidi the prodigal son gidi o koye ya was awo sika de be ehwe wife crampo untimi afi de chire no aye den na chese so papa yi so wo bi o enye se o te se mi aye ni bi o wo bi edansi ho wo cars chese bi bia ye kama wo fie ndo papa se oh mo efie wo ha no mu se mo ntre mu na mo fa start ya ababa so David you run gidi o me rent me de mo kra me wo mo ho nchen ya mo tete me after we call copy after a year or two, you have to come back for support. So that is what happened. Now we have not. We are about to manage it in the point is there. Abrafone who's there over a period no. Obet me handle one casawo issues. So go on and handle your issues because we are disciplined. The point here is discipline. I just say we are macroeconomics. We are on top. The sometimes I omuntiasi and say most say conservatives you know. You're doing social. And almost all year social no. Almost to me taxi condoms, taxi chest, taxi.
Oh, later you you condom
now press conference yeah. But almost fees no. It drew medicines, it drew more patients with crampono. They were taxing it. But
NDC was taxing
absolutely. It was one of the nuisance taxes that they took away from it. By now, come over Hanka, a man for me into a drone. So what you say? And there were 11 taxes. And I'm not a disika bray, and I do can say, Kruma is shit. Yen sika. Hey, Sikampo and Fanny home. A better ye in Friso. So you cannot go and berate. To me, just an anado. You cannot. Because before the man would decide, say, the doctor Ekano, Yebekwa inward, now unim say the crisis has taken us to that point. Otherwise, Uncle no crampo no, or very crass at any point in time. Look at 11 taxes, real estate or you free so Okofa, it's a Siana Mampumpo and for plain prices called media. John Mahama bet many yes say NDC for to Ghana for to the beer, refuse. Me media refuse there, enemies who. me refia na matwa to ho enti se ene na wo ho ato wo free museum asase se ye Israel for free Egypt abedru baby nto refia chire dia yen ka ye hu se bebramba that's it. So therefore we should always go and have an experience of what the situation was. Enti wo mo de mo fele se ye de ye nkrofo president nkrofo ba ye eye ya pe no akofa metro mass transport nkwala krampo mo fa mema muntua mpanyimfo mema muntua enso so NDC for be fa ye no mpanyimfo kofa otua enso so the plan was that we 60 years so kwa ofa untua we yakwala wo ko school onfa na me ne hu mienu aye ho adin no ye na ye papa ma abe bre ahwe yen nti ye no ye ntua na o mo ntam mu free ya no mo ba ye no o mo sesa no a doctors for ne a nurse for etie me you were getting more na de bia mo so mo be kwa abrochire ye na ye wo medical school work Kolebu Legon ye ya pe ye se pese ye ko America me kura na wo mani so na ye na me maame oba ya Grace Command no ye MP we just be an assistant is ono ko ye na masters for Harvard was we ye din asem come on you stay here and they will do some work together so what you say can you say ka be kura na wo mani so be we USMLE awe bas so government brought interventions in the sense say obetimi de wo car free abrochi aba under 2 liters no obeyi ni free nurse doctor
for nurses and doctors
for all the yanumo ba no it wasn't there
president
Kufa wasn't there yes we yanumo ba no omo ye free ho there Rollins beto ya one fan in sanka nurses in kwala uko school o maami wo afija ase wo brofred wo nkwankwanu wo tetika so bebi a wo bia akokwa so se na be ya se uni sika de hwe wo ba wo nursing college aban bosomi o ma ne 4 million 5 million na ma obetime de wo di ato ho no mo NDC for ba o mo de betwem nti ye refia
nursing allowance
yes it is here it is part of the cost of flagships nursing allowance is going to take 231,200,000 now Adongo is saying on the floor say yentwem
nursing allowance was munchum
yes teacher training
mama cry campaign to the beba
so austerity no so the NDC is telling us giving the opportunity to come nurses teacher training is 169 million ye betwem ebeba akodu school feeding ye buy school feeding and collect di na more expenditure number ye 220 ye dey 488 na say enrollment no akosro because of free SHS what dey also austerity nti ye nkotwem na high mama ne high papa na enko yi sika no wo ne boto in the midst of the difficulty the Nadu is saying say as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death I will fear no evil and in this case Nadu is saying that no share with him
okay
anya ononkwa wo obenya bi ho be chiw ono so ho be chiw
okay ona me pese oto obo na nka obobbo these ayi na pato obo ansa ma me ko nua be ma ona me mra so pese obobbo niema na o ka se aban di kushi ordinary people
no nya politics but me ko economic policy omo na chere made
why na okay
say doctor do no nya politics
no he's there to check more NDC no MPP no
but economics is you kusu omo na de chere you ko economic policy management omo na chere
okay
it's the ye adwuma
o ko ya economic policy management okay business okay
Medina MP.
Oh, we know students.
Oh, that be paying for.
But you could try you could do Dr. Berryman or Markan and Dr. Bay economics. Now, me say me medical school, my yamano. Now, me O level economics you want. To me, you did BS economics, the way you come back to it.
Okay.
So what I can't media me baby. So what
why all my media name? Doctor, so but no boss interventions now we will say. And no na aban di kushi ehia for because so far ehia for no to say aban pra wo petrol no kwa no de atoso no de e be ka bibia but honorable Richard the Champion ANDC mashebedwe no a member of the finance committee and no more committee meeting honorable cry panicho and san oba because and the committee meeting no and the parliament na kasa so city and a committee meeting so e wo ho no ma ni nyina si finance committee and as honorable anopema good morning ni akwa baba UTV critical issues so
morning media
Honorable Yada say wa beke en wenim say committee maso aye hyepa ne unua ayi cry free doc yire no ansa na ye de ne eba minim de ti this week parliament say 137 into maso aye hyepa papa but honorable Mode budget ye politics ana. That was my first question too. Mode ye amanyosem.
Fiama mention or not mention what you for na football. And not me whole picture be left
I picture that I picture that I see bloggers be akofani there that crab 3 years. Dada. Honorable I am one of politics and I MPP for na the budget in politics.
Afia you know I am in situation I will. That present budget so and present you. The individual economy no obi enu sa onkyere wo. Koko kene no say agye no koko 3 months in chance. A month here adwuma ye omunya bi. A month for pesika ye adwuma omunya bi. Now MPP for no they don't know what is happening. Either they know it and they are trying to lie or they are so arrogant and they don't want to resonate with the reality on the ground. If here, among some change doesn't sound reconciliatory. Opia would do budget cover. 2017 budget. Cocaine page 1 of the budget. You can for us to say that we inherited a distressed economy, debt overhang, higher interest payments, and other measures which the then administration took, which is not other way for the good people of this country. So we are going to collect it. And on medical taxes is there amount for repeating and but you can't tax to one man. It's also okay tax in a number man. Incidence of taxation, in fact, it's not saying and about ordinary person. A buyer also when in a few. A buyer also may free water, or say or may free electricity and other freebies. A few way budget or capital say, yeah, it's time for recover those debts. No, minister, and you free. You should not know me, and here's the time to pay back. Electricity now or demand, there's a time to pay back. After on top of that, you know, on time introduce to 5% tax on financial sector. I also spend 21 billion Ghana cedis. And then good amount for bank. Bank won't cancel the good no. Me bank be there nanka or more distress situation. Politics in see a banner and go more support you. Then banks in media on food or more length for affiliation with NBC no. Now a typical example. Heritage Bank. Governor no STT say Agongo has issues with Kokobo because I'm on the contract. So it's not proper and fit to operate the bank. Now, your papa, meanwhile, a basic assembly support for to young wife. What you can't pay the assembly at a work order. Who can change 2020 budget? Who expenditure out by 75 billion. If you are abandoning, you're not spending 100 billion Ghana. Come with buying in a year, everybody winning a you. After you catch 2021, Bobo Brand 72 billion Ghana revenue. Now I expect to pay 113 billion. This is a 41 billion Ghana cedis. Then you never got 10% of the market here. And the reporting a system now more I am wrong. I must be a tax in the year by 12.2 billion. I know that the amount of this is some 11 point something percent. I don't know about 17 to 18%. And you don't matter if you are lying. You present the same data to the international community. They laugh at all of us. They do their own calculation and then go to internet. Even World Bank, they are quoting our debt to DP ratio is 81.1%. But government is 72%. And Chairman Samuel used to say,
there be honor with Champosi, World Bank for say your debt to GDP ratio near 84%.
81 and yet 76 from Okano.
When I say 76, you do hip status anyway.
Yeah, Chamuka, they say a distressed country. No, because they ain't country. Because debt tonight, 291.8 billion, I can want them now. $1.5 billion now, you issue debt for a question and count. Energy sector bond, moving 10 billion and count. Kano had $2 billion and count. Any other debt and can be a Kenyan now. There's a contingent liability on government. It is a 1% of what I say on bank. Yes, support to buy so this may keep in more revenue. Maybe it's not more manacoswa. You speak the language people will understand you. You cut your own budget. Now that's a mentality, but now they will lose too bad. Look at office of government machinery. Show more budget. On one case, they increase or more allocation. Now, Parliament today doesn't matter so. Judiciary doesn't matter so. So, someone they'll say, well, you are getting a better money to the better kids will be. Go and read Article 179 of the Constitution. Almost say the Chief Justice, in consultation with the Judicial Council, will submit their budget to the President. But it's not subject to revision. That's the law. We have Constitution and any other law. But I can say, we are not regarding all this law. We are cutting back whatever proposal they put before you as a president. But one can say, who increase? Who increase would but then I call on some of us there, so you knew it. So the government is not disciplined when it comes to financial matters. And then the about the bedroom, it's not about politics.
Okay.
It's a no, you see, I'm a committee almost say table, fiscal table, also my dear to they should write. They were in person, Chernobyl, and I by yourself to the year.
Okay.
Now, I must say, I'm going to say my dear to myself 2022. Let's see the party population of the year 2021 year. I don't remember why I told Swamano. Somebody to make about to be in the hole. What just said, oh, you're wrong. And you're wrong with the eye. Do the needful.
But honorable time then omuji tu mu say the omu ye na wrong. Honorable that ben omuji tu mu say the omu ye na wrong.
Just yesterday, Chairman Sabosu on the floor.
On the floor.
On the floor of Parliament.
I captured in the hazard.
It is captured in the hazard.
I can give you the audio. I know you two mu say
yes. Or you saw this word. On saying issues raised by Honorable Atufo and the Jermaine. But we can go ahead and approve of the principle so that 2021 will change our reporting style. Chairman sir admitted it yesterday.
Okay. Ebi so like now so Oka say Jermaine is that an admission?
It's not.
Oka say issues Honorable Dr. Atufo say raise you know. Jermaine and no chance wa dia tum say economy na say ana.
Somebody you saw only Jermaine.
Okay.
Me can come to us so me one.
Okay.
Or say what the issue are too far because normally in Kalita Senika Sevi, na minister of president budget no or one apa. Speaker mo be apa manen kasa. The number of some critical you know. Speaker name my ranking member quite.
Okay.
E man say address the house no. Or address the house the chairman stand back. Ever respond to issues na you know. And no say they can agree to it. There are certain things I can't put on this part because they themselves, they agree to ourselves. Their reporting standard is wrong. The international community is laughing at us. So going forward, you know, they will change it. This are limited to it. No propaganda.
Okay, until honorable, more to force issue. Okay, issue Ben raise here about the budget. What is the problem? And how Ben and
there's an expenditure of 6.2 billion.
6.2 billion.
Which was not captured above the line item. The last time will deficit now for sure.
Okay. That expenditure and patron of 6.2 billion every.
Energy sector debt and the financial sector cost no.
Okay.
Who shall budget anymore? And the memorandum no on the who success can do any kapua. Because and you know what say they're taking care of it. We want to say it's not part of the amortization. So you need to because you paid for it, what year they account for it. But they don't want to account for all. And that's I don't know if this number is smaller. We want to know what case it cannot.
Yeah, let's clear this up now as he's on the line.
Unia Dr. Afia so no enya adwene wo doc the response is pacho into no hold on mami mean so committee meeting but hold on.
Yeah.
What's the issue doc?
I disagree with him. The reasons
some atum say economy
the reasons are that no say o contract loan now is not released to you. It is not added to your debt stock. So I
pacho chirim say o kwaje bosia
akwa finance committee anyway share ya approve say mon kwaje sika we ekoye we. So long as it has not been released.
Okay.
So they raise those issues. Almost sorry, issues of mojiwe. And I just say, catcher will say, go and watch Richard, for budget, no, na call central bank operations. Obehu say there is no evidence of it being captured because I didn't be hitting my account here.
Yeah, but that is what they are complaining.
As me say, yakoje busia, yaba committee, yabedru.
Monya approval.
Yenya approval. Na say odeko, na say sika maya. You don't expect me say add it to.
Odebeka oka ho, okay.
Na say anko baso e.
Na say budget for 2021.
Exactly.
Say wo de enya dan ya baba 2021.
They were expecting say if say abe arrive there, say wo de wa back committee. You maka. Me hu say yes ade we. Me hu wa ha say. And in calculating of your debt position, and under no circumstances do we add what has not been released to it. And they are demanding of it. In a sense, it's say, when Kulu Amudanwa, Omo Baba to Abandi, say Yanko Tuaba. And you have a leader of parliament who is a master of the politics and the knowledge of the finance. And he decided to say, winning be. Calm these people down. Let's go in a way say we don't even go and vote. But you know what? Omo point in say, and the Afia do omo change goalpost. Say Alex Markin cry, Oku we any submission or hiti we. In that case, still now was here Tuaba. And what they did yesterday was terrible because presidents almost said, one shot every time, and one day, NDC will be in power. The almost said, come back at them. Now, one was a medical crampuna, may trigger. What you say? At the end of the day, they are not canon. It is not right. It is not in context. It is not in context.
But are you also saying Abato na moto no should not have happened?
Abato.
Also Abato na moto 134, 137.
I said
Richard.
Sir Richard, no one say it was needless.
Honorable Richard Champo. Honorable. Unia na ka say enra Abato amoma moto ye no kaye first needless. But already question about ekana mo se omomfanka a first a debt a canon Ghana canon. So I was yan on because Bosian in your my to a to me fan Ghana canon man in ye.
Bosa my I don't know why walk out together for 121 billion. Bosa my Bosa no come.
I say Bosiana Mokas of 6.2 billion.
Yeah, Bosa my Bosa Maka say, I be a Kabia against my loan. Now, what I to do a mother's first tranche, 25.8 million. Because so much today. There can be a on the floor. It will show the debt sustainability of government. I don't hear come on them. It's the answer, no.
Richard, now was okay.
Anna, mommy moving free a debt, so because I know the Anna. Yeah, ete o kan shi na kwase dwaso na ashama market no sa mo debt akete wo mu kakra yentumi relate the issue about kanea eni nsuo ene ne ma ye de ma free SHS ne ade abeye ka e wo man so no kwan ben so na aban ne betimi a revive economy because Gabi Kraka say economy is in crisis honorable wunu abe ma so aka say economy ne e yare but omo de omo say e covid ene ma sa yare ni nyina ba na mo NDC for Kraka say omo ntete e friend say omo nko austerity na fe enema omode amagana fo koman ha omo kakra ne yen yi ni nyina free wonum eno na be revive economy na for instance nursing training allowance teacher training allowance na dey na mo so omo yi
maybe in my submission me can say opinion nursing training allowance and a teacher training allowance
I don't go kan
I'm not Adongo and I'm not speaking for him
no yeah the deputy ranking.
That I'm making my submission. Your position is me were here, but I remember everything in the budget. Ocean government flagship programs are on the numbers to be about. Abania allocated 200 million Ghana cedis. On the National Identification Authority, 48 million on the mass law. Free searches 1.974 billion Ghana cedis. Nobody has raised these issues, because free searches about 1.9 billion. See me as in the account. It is a buying you look at the wastage in the system. You look at corruption allegations and corruption reports are so that you can at least close the gap and get more revenue. You cut back so expenses. Overhead expenditure do what about when you take other things. But this is a government or more fighting corruption to really fighting them back. This is a government to show commitment to be as he is serious to be prudent in the current management of this country. They look at them and say, what is the alternative? The alternative is to plug the loopholes. The alternative is to be prudent. So that the riches that you have, you can manage it to the benefit of all of us. But what's mean for a demon to so kind of them is say free. Not that and then also can them to make you can. Or being what we are 4 years in there, but that are not plenty pools. I have connected electricity more. Up on no contractor, no one connected lights more. If you manage a transformer, only dressing, a man in your 4 years in the other TV, I'll call you after UTV. Or build a meter 4 years in one supply meter more. So if you sit in Accra and determine, say there's excess capacity in Accra, so all of us will contribute to pay for it. Does it make economic sense? I think everyone can. Obviously, the BPD a usual cardi amount. What's the main farm now? Never in a NDC to work in Kotia. Like you're there super 4 years or no. How do you call on such a person to come and help you pay the excess capacity?
Okay. Ana mama found free on me and found Kokaniano. So now economists say fuel na abandoned taxes at total air call chrome cry reporters call around the new umbetrition come very soon. Ordinary people who saw more Kaniana. Petrol na yede tax na to so no a big headache e the man ordinary people mu gidi say enye ne kwa so more NDC more alternative be now that more catch aban say tax we ensanko IMF more alternative to that because mo press conference minority press conference mu raise sir issue na mu raise workers kra amate say between now and the next 3 years yen to work a salary mu yen closer for bekasa say a big problem because here to petrol mu no e was here to salary mu na ne Asia
alternative for everybody say NDC will never impose the 1% flat rate on VAT because MPP are banned by and no going to 3% flat rate. You can your money and no more than 1% flat rate about 2021 budget. I have 4%. Implications in the trade. As the cascading effect at the tax upon tax. But some now you have match, you know. We have input and output now. You can claim back. Into your tax and file returns, they know your level of payment, then you have a tax credit. But in this case, on the fear, what year, refund is anybody here. This I will say, about some cash shows a young, and it shows all kinds of mantle. And if you walk, the beer in a million. And you may fall, I can't say the apple say, I won't pay to move some more. And to what you say, I buy eggs in 1% our pot. National health insurance on VAT tax rate. Also, 2% and I know. No, that's not off. It's not a calculation. It's America 1%, you know. If they do follow consumer, they do that 6%. And they saw the cascading effect, tax upon tax. Now, I am not in India. Where input and output in India. The incidence of transaction will not be so much on the ordinary consumer. Because we will not introduce this factory for the back and what or withdraw it. But it's a legitimate approach of collecting tax. Already your share by volume, not after 1%. And do Ukraine 1 billion times 1%. Nigeria recognize your water some company. Assembly and I don't know.
Okay.
And people will not do this alternative. I know that they are much better. I know they will trigger inflation. Because inflation is 10.4%. Because of this, petrol will cost cash cab will cost
okay.
We can contain inflation and unless say the numbers of those items that will come into the basket. These are the critical issues I can watch.
But only in fact, Doc, Sako de Cratchy mu say, buying the facts are buying the fuel prices or the taxing the account. It's a very smart way to menya entoba because your revenue there's a shortfall 13.6 billion. On so we are aware of this shortfall. Inti sa aban and to full on so a obeden wa gigi scan. Meanwhile, Dr. Sakode HM say aban fa baby for amode pressure na wo omo eni bie so na ba form or the income tax here was say what is wama ehun cut or so ne ade niema na honorable kan wasem leap sika de ma omo ye buburo kra omo nika prekra no ni nyina ye niema odi cushion. Is that not enough?
Afia, big first what driver this time said. Mosumi said the income tax telotia. Number 2, 30% na 30% no. Mosumi said what they compare income tax na the NSO. Apparently so people and say it's a different from the no. And one of them no use some beautiful language just to describe it when they are there. The translation now. And so said birthday on you. And you dinner that's no. It's about mama way. Okay. The other man in a mecambo man. I want to have the money say. The meeting in a mecambo man, I want you to say, what is this man? I want to have a problem with the work. And yet I don't care income tax that the other man for no. 3 months every quarter mutia say. And your first one in 1 city, 3 cities. What you are 14 Ghana cities. Now that you could 14 Ghana cities 3 months. Petrol no but on tax that's on 3 months or no. And for the 100 Ghana cities. So what is which?
Okay.
But if you put the money to identify them, I get them.
Okay.
And the laziest way of collecting the tax.
Okay.
Because they can't think outside the box. They have no innovation to bring new things on board. Saying in the way appreciate.
Okay.
Said amount for a maximum package. This I will say. NBSSI, I did 500 million Ghana cedis. Afia, Ombo data. Nipo Muji says Sikano. Dear of the Sikano Koye. Sikano equals productive sector. Omukati employment. Omakasa, you ever tax. That's the kind of demo mono. You never butiana. For political, against some of the Koye. Because they wanted to win this election. They gave the money to the party people and they won the election. They gave those food to their political apparatus and they were doing the distribution. To the benefit of the majority of the people of this country.
Okay.
That's the difficulty we find ourselves.
Okay. Okay. Mama na wase also omode scanner politics. Mesai about hopefully before mo be pon committee meeting say minister and the parliament won't nasia because issues now we're raising also issues I was here to me can wasem. But also mo the politics a lot of the things and can wait me akati
the every no sir Richard tell me. The every million any so no is a difference in the approach of my I don't trust NDC and I won't trust them. Oh, Richard, oh, phone so. Oh, Kase, that's the laziest approach. Now, you tell me. The very lazy approach was when in 2015 to 2016, more also the financial mess in the economy, a spiral growth of the debt to the point to say you had to come and force and push ESLA. Now, how much percentage how much percentage did that increase at the pump? Fuel prices increased by 27%. Fuel prices, yes. How Naiduzu came up and said that it's a bitter pill. Ghanaians must listen, must accept it. It increases. What's it there? Because we were telling you, sir, under President Kufuor, the taxes by but we were having value. But mono for 8 years, my introduce you almost over 32 taxes. So we were tired of you. But we admitted that President Kufuor brought taxes and we had value from honey. But you guys, we didn't have value for money. That is why I was speedy up to take away some 11 taxes we thought was nuisance.
By end of 2016.
So if taxes imposition is lazy,
you pay 24 billion interest or loan.
Richard,
what do you have to show?
Richard, if taxes imposition is lazy, then you the NDC were laziest or most lazier than the MPP because in any case the taxes you introduced were way so many than what the MPP had done, and moreover, under economic recession or a difficulty.
And then the only okay.
Body.
But I'm saying, and then we wanted to look at politics, our parties, more budgets now. That is why we needed NDC in the studio. Unfortunately, studio.
And some of
and as I say, Amudias Abaya so.
I want to be so.
Above from.
What's the interview?
Oh, and they say you are not being fair to him. Only panel offer service near to your car. On a voting parliament, you see a man as Gasha Sawaje.
And then object to the Professor Daniel, a boy charmer. What to talk about you?
Oh, Okasa. In any case,
in the budget, I must say, revenue short for 13 billion revenue short for
13.6
of the DRA. Take a second on. So
say situation at stake. Richard.
We're changing commono. We're changing commono. Picking on people.
Professor there in charge of Ghana Revenue Authority. There's a revenue shortfall. He's still keeping his post. I think you're incompetent. And already or the class incompetent. A whole professor.
Oh, but honorable, to be fair to him, unim say water parliament, we parliament or COVID BBC or Emma Mukaya Mamuko Fie. And if in a COVID situation, government generally the revenue target across what here before my I don't know picking on professor. Now do so a pandemic. Honorable do so a pandemic now. Honorable do so a pandemic.
Do
so a global pandemic and then I Ghana sem.
I want African pipeline.
Hey, on a year five. Or the Saudi and the was that 170 million billion Kawono. Do so the Sikasam Namunamoya de Babasana Koyasa, which are depending on what they are getting, they think after Dr. You demonstration on the Ghana. Richard, if you are Mr. Richard, so Obekasa, money come breakfast, only pay come breakfast. Mama Nekasa.
I think you should be fair to him. Say, Papa, if he's providing a service into a dinner kitchen, not Bama
the problem was Ghana back home. Say nipa wo tumi a mo se me yanka na kora nkyere no epanyini okowusu a mo se me yanka asem fo awufuo ho da ben na beka na kora kyere obi o ye panyini
honorable no very subjective no
nipa no position ko kana sema mo so ye panyini na ye me yanka asem fa no ho wade na mo no di samonisa no owusu a mo se me yanka asem fo awufuo ho ye kocha no da ben na beka na kora kyere authorities ka kyere me
yo honorable mama now say but only me say for Professor Sa ade de ende or ye adwuma asomman no and said the war parliament a oje esgasha no we deserving of it no ono so deserving sika oje no ho enti men personalizing it today nya una ko do breakfast no why yeah must to house but central for the na o kan so no so nya fair because and central for cranny and no abini mu we are making this budget an issue. Yatia no munzo uni abematia, but there's also an economist. No, anya me na maker, anya me mpo na maker, but mechanic generally say. But even generally, honorable, to be fair to Central for, this budget ba ye kra na central for na ya no abi mu na ye busa questions and a free BC ade na mo check and na mo che nsuo na mo san de taxes ama so and central for you mo adwumanti mo de mo nya mo politics
mo nya manam roso here mo bebre
ana we was
mo na platform no
aye dey
Richard say ya communication mama
ayi unu abema say aye communication cause as oh yeah communication human ona bo echa po ya na wasi bebre
NDC communication
say I beg journey communication Honorable Richard Echampo here NDC Machebejeni wo bia ono aso member of the finance committee awachechem say MPP for mum the budget so politics enye the true state of said Ghana etienka by now ye ka ye dey crowd 81% ye debt to GDP ratio but say MPP for akodi ntro ache IMF any World Bank for say was 76 no cry nye say kabi wo hono ma 6.2 o ma fa nka ye ka no ehun any other issues o ka say afede Ghana for cry ayedi ni ade mpacho follow UTV Ghana social media platform Facebook na YouTube na fa wadwen che ne brankofobia send o mo de enche be ko enuan ma wo tiptoe lane circle ne ade ne abuso o mo so hwe o mo botomu a budget so etisen ewonom honorable unuan ma kasa bebe ma mpese o che de o mo ye politics ntina ama budget no asem ne kana kwakoye den ana politics no mo ye no
politicians they politics they be
even with budget
utility function no so politics room and that is the problem we have in Ghana as a country there be higher politics obi say ensuo asema akofa bae anka wo say mo ye din na mo che enso so mo ko gina platform so ana na do nsuo na mo de higher politics nti NDC funds so omo so ntrance nya nhwe ha ma mo mfa nya enka nwo so nti omo so de be ye but o can politics asemi because you need national plan for Ghana nti party bia we need power ne budget no ne manifesto nti politics na no mo ye no o party bia ba power ne budget no oyi free ne manifesto mu o hwe budget ya da nim sisi a ko NPP 2020 manifesto mu ko hwe adekro most of the things so much on and our manifesto in fact there's a session I think the last but one session they called beyond 2020 and no more listed in our budget we
beyond 2020 yes. They had planned even for this
enti amanyosem no the beyond the baby because you need national plan I can say we ba ultimate sisano obese no kra be sano ketua bi nti ono MPP ni no why na budget na free ni manifesto no or the buy ni politics say me kan na meye NDC for nso ntanse nyanhwe ha nti omo so be kan agum na honorable our friend na say mo kan ye me de pam say picking on individuals and when they can nti but mo kan ye these two issues revenue mobilization and expenditure management nti your expenditure management was say ahochira ba momo presidency
na ka osa motemo kasa
de na mo ye afa ho mo motorcade no mate so e bia cars akese am use efficient vehicle allocation no mo asa mo se mo ntimi anto adwumayefo akatua mu a ene mo so setting allowances traveling near yin nyina setting allowances mo tete so
DM ne ade
mo tete so na Ghana fo hunu se ahokyere na aba ye nyina ye so mo bi panyefo si won so ne nipa enti ada na wo kasa Ghana fo nkwan som na de wote presidency na wo de won so hwe mu enti mene ne ya adwene another issue so raise here the corruption ne loopholes no ne sika na me kan wo OKFM so say to ada na wo tuto mu a still a coins na ye je eno any leakages ne loopholes na ye kan because the moment you be who physical cash pe
ebeko ni
bottom but why your card ebo ka anim what on for 1 year matua 1000 what you 2000 we you 3000 udu ho a we nye honorable ase we nye we this year asem uni card na ba no emie because electronic enim nipa enti yenye ne sa na digitization na president kan his sona no na me hwe ani mu se ebeboa ya me nya resources bebre because what can say ya the national ID card no eno abeya tina roping in more 15 million more Ghanaians scarcely na ebenya free
okay
saying ebeboa yen am plug all the loopholes no they get no there the way to plug the loopholes one of the biggest solutions is to go digital.
Okay.
And our offshore revenue collection, I know they are doing something about it. Monitoring no ebeye. Another issue honorable raise Mr. Maniji ho here say enye tax nko na dey pay revenue.
Okay.
Ana me kan me na no me no kan.
Enye to nko na dey boa oman no.
Okay, so let's start this argument. Eto eya na enye.
Okay.
Obi me read book bi o say anka ono de anka ne pemu dia anka ma enye to tax should be zero. Na ye ma production kosoro.
Okay.
Na individuals na amfanye de omo pe. Ana obi counter argument ni say okay, say calculate GDP tax no go into GDP calculation as a negative figure.
Okay.
Into more our tax no na more GDP no kofo. But there is a bad there. Government expenditure no ye gituo the ma ban say onfanye kania nsuo ni ade say be ye be ma economic activity no move fast. So the positive of the government expenditure no should outweigh the negative of tax. That is why say government big tax na say o misuse na a high economy no.
Okay.
Because a tax no e twen aside. But ye the amount say ti agya no so ne pia ye ko ani mo so wudi.
And no NDC minority issue.
And I support them.
You support them.
I support
because
them.
Because say
there should be prudent management of the resources.
Okay.
If you don't manage the resources prudently, for more because tax now already aside. And level 2 and economics say the tax multiplier effect is negative on GDP.
Okay.
But the government expenditure multiplier effect is positive.
Okay.
So we are only hoping say the positive would outweigh
negative.
The negative, no. Until we no am fan koye kwan now you koye kwan 2 years na tutu. Now what higher?
Okay.
Until prudent expenditure management when na ya adwene. But last I mean so honorable ha obeyi ano identity property tax man kan ho asem. Say ye pesca wo yes, say ye pesca wo man mu a. What they mean many say oh you can decide not to respond to it. Ghana for you no.
No, I was so here no be here no finance.
He can decide not to respond to it.
Be here no.
Say ye pesca wo me ni break say ye pesca wo mem which me no mo ya because you are all in one looking. I support the government for domestic resource mobilization. Property tax no more can one say. Local government the capacity of the local government to generate their own resources no mo ya ho dey.
Okay.
Da ben na mo be sha ase. Digitization no da ben na ye binya sika plug loopholes no enema be negu akwam fines ni levies ni medical kan na make say passport fee no kra o se yatum adent na wonye sika ko je passport atu kwa na ko 50 cedis na visa fee kra o tu asay enti passport fee no enema bit sa no yentum
you have a point. Yes. Visa fee cry you saying
yes enti eno na tools if NDC for class support tools no but their concern is leakages no na ekwan no wonye wona na ka say baby agito kura ho atutu
me say tema motorway baby e gina e agito no kom atutu
ene la bufu no o etotua ya o obi so baby phone la obeti sound e wo krofo ayi
ya be ko yenu abe mama gban o tito in fact tito
last one
no
last two tax exemptions no
okay yeah
ebetimi a finance free SHS nyina me bi aka
tax exemption
yes I don't know that
the order nkofo de dem ba de chew mo
I didn't know that parliament tax exemptions bill no ka say e da ho yenyan kan ho asem last year much 2.6 billion this year much 3 billion
2.6 billion
yes
and I tax e dey attempt for
this year much 3 billion me ka say entimi nye zero by yente so yente tax exemptions no so you can reduce the rate or reduce the period go bo ha ni amano grace period no be at 10 years 5 years yente so nye no be at 2-3 years now rate no so no e be at 25% e betima ati so about 10% na abana nya bi out of 3 billion no abana betima nya even 1 billion cry free ho nka there will be no need because so oye tax exemption bi no nya 1 billion e more than a ton of the VAT so no because VAT no am I 889 million e no 1 billion ndio unye no na nkofa tax exemption 1 billion na mfa nhemu ho
okay
ana natural resources the last year can ho asem bebre no ye the medium to long term measure Nti ya good year nya na Ghana ha
na Japan
ye nya no
ma ba so because Japan aban ya na dwen say in order to make money say odiska say they bo benye sikenti they are not looking at say tax exemption no they are looking at okay yensan ko fa Japan mra bio so that they betimi aye we ne they ama omanfo ne ade bo no bo me community be ma buy o tiptoe le no ni tiptoe fo atweko bo no bo e was so answer sa question we a question on your bema no ebusa say ade na manye property rate na the but answer question say politics of niema mo ye senka mo amo be ye say mo amo manifesto nim e san sam pata mo de budget ya amanyo semti niema maka o manifesto no na mo de ba for instance I don't think say 888 no 88 hospitals no na wo
agenda 111
I don't agenda 111 to bo president e be ye fellow Ghanaians okay 88 hospital when see say budget in any state of the nation work agenda 111 me 88 na ehye 111 anim and sika no mu di free say mu na mu su say mu ni sika no mu di free
if Dr. Ka about the introduction of property taxes, which I also agree with him. But I mean, him say the difficulty here.
The property taxes.
There is the house address system and identification, digitalization of the houses. And he said, if you be a Ghana habia, say yetiminya address system, GPS location, BBA, and yetimi defining we are. And no internet almost pushes internet work. See, no, a Ministry of Communication and what digitalization.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure that you bit me process now failure yet me and that theory also come into the same road too.
Okay.
Because technology now was will be used leakages na ebe coffin.
Okay.
And if say yet me all houses now failure nim the houses property the location A class A class B class C say be if you for yeah you are brumum and you wait here. Yeah, the yentia more than say be obi or East Legon. Any what we say intino a process. And I think say me I'll not be surprised say and the next 2-3 years, you know. Then it can be an issue that will be on board, which I also agree.
Oh no, my person will be used to question we so I know about wastage. You only have honorable Eric Champo
tax exemptions.
Exemption so but person address this you say mess for every question no office of the president anyone can say so aban
okay
Dr. Yini say Dr. Yini say office of the president na government machinery no kwa mo budget cost by 300%. But workers, mostly this year, Chief Director, Ministry of Finance, 1 year, 3 years.
There is something that I want to clear. Is it the Office of Government Machinery? It has several agencies and omunina budget, including Ministry of Special Initiative. Omono ye omo a oko constituencies a omo si ejanabia ebi wo hono a omo nya ebi so wo hono a schools ebi ye roads ebi ye sa MSDI no se si a wo president a o say yen koye ade foforo yen tua outstanding because if you say me I said it all the time if you just for it me yeah, campaign. Me opponent said MP Akoji Sikano with this Sikano 1 million constituency with how it Sadian MP Akodi me na never me ferry kwa na me abai sika eba MP yo adentia ome hu say ye tutu boreholes ye wie ya ome hu say ye si school dan ewo ekua ebia esukoko ewo odwa ye wie ya nyamfa ye wie ya entino obetimi ehu no wa dane no e dia ye campaign e dia tia enso so no me amete ho no sika no anya me ho the free back so ati ase enu ntina aban se omo pense sa na ma na omo start ye nina no omo tia edema contractors enye me MP na omo di wie sa na
does that justify the 300%
it will go up because MSDI see Office of Government Machinery it has headquarters and agencies
which headquarters
it has public enterprises, scholarship secretariat, Maslock. Now Ghana for the be a per Maslock loan. Se see no Maslock. Se a bia ye man loan afe 100 million. na say yakoye no 300 million office of government machinery omo budget no be cost about another 300 million but who there who ko catch omo say office of government machinery and so who nim say mass lock for na e wa ase no omo sika no omo pe no ye de kan ho.
What is the justification said last year anko 300% na this year mu increase mo budget by 300
because
but all other sectors for instance parliament sika mateso judiciary sika mateso
right
mu nyina mo say tighten your belt
yes.
Ghana for the ekura mo the petrol tax aba
yes.
and also mo say yen tighten your belt na mo kwa
yes because the national
sika cost by 300%.
This is the first time these things in a year under the
yeah,
no,
it's not the first time.
It's not the first time.
Special initiative that creation of this government.
It's not
but
the first
all the institutions now office of government machinery.
For instance,
they're already there.
Doc, it's not the first time, but there have been some inclusions.
Okay.
For instance,
a special initiative.
Nation Builders Corp is not there. And if a budget of about 300 million is now gone to 672 million, what it means is that they are going to pick more graduates at TTFA Abeshim because they probably and a year finance committee if you are the my better and I make us but your Kotna and the office of government machinery and next but they are now going to break all down why they increased it.
Okay.
But now I can presume since last year we now around 300 now this year 672. What it means is that in Kwalano you have probably realized that the past 1 year Ejuma am fan crofo and then Kwala nye ejuma enti ene mame mfa bebre na me ma wo bibi in the meantime. That is what the NDC think is not the right way to go. But you see, it is also okay. Into there, we will talk more about it. I'm happy to speak about it.
Yeah.
But let's meet the agencies and they will take all of us through.
And we are not about
exactly to justify it.
Okay.
And that will be okay.
So church is sounding reasonable kakra say. So yeah, they fan for because you kind of office of government machinery, you kind of
right.
We don't explain or more but mama come in about my barrel, but there's also an issue about wastage. Our system, you say, and perhaps you take government officials also special assistance, no more money, no more
corruption. On corruption. Me as I'm here, I will not defend. If I wanted you to ask him a question, say if particular examples of corruption. Yes, because me and every me my own kotna ho the mon kosel ho me defend you. I'm not going to do that. It's not my principle. I mean, I don't do that.
Even if I am MPP asema.
It is not got to do with me. It's my policy.
Okay.
I will say it as it is.
Okay.
Well, if I will get problem with others, I don't care about it. It's me, my feeling. Indeed, me be defend it. So you give me one example. And let me speak my mind on it. Okay. But you don't go and say assume you say under NDC. Yeah, afag for you can corruption. Yeah, you can corruption. Only I cited one example. I saw photon. Boyomi. We cited a lot of them. And the also so far, ubet me a brandy and say you're corrupt. But justify with some of them, and then let us be clear. You cannot just open your mouth and say leakages, corruption. Yeah. But then also, road toll booths say, road toll booth or not say you security like doctor is saying. Then it means that you're worrying because to be more efficient, you have to introduce technology, and that is going to make you realize usikali na.
Okay. Doc, mama call a tip to mess about hobby. Tip to any of them McByron, tip to lane. Our name a Jodifono, Casaba, or more budget than Casa. McByron, tip to him for 14 Amujine.
Yo, tip to le ha, the one about UTV so. Tip to le ha now, or the rice I didn't have say. Now I know it's in the Jinahano. Now, Senate now, more discuss so studio honor. Sane, and a Jodifo so, Ebisam say. Taxes ni levies here aban dia omodwen say ne kwan so ana ana so modwen kire wo ho say yen semre no ye be fe dipa ba ko na ene na kasa rapper ni mo wache ba ko baba UTV so mejo so ni abema so be hwe camera mu what is levies bia ba pachwane na wadwen kire wo ho say oh media to me ne de oman bi eni honu ma ebenyin ana se ebegyina ne na so a taxes ni levies in ya adwuma. Because ukwa abrochire yempenyi for yomukwa abrochire omu say bibia no is being taxed. Say America yema will be free a ubetua through tax. UK yema will be free a ubetua through tax. Omu nim ni nyina. Ba kwa say ye kuro mu ha no na ya na ye akyerɛkyerɛ no nko deep ma yenti no. Anytime aban bi bebe bia na say aban bi be introduce new taxes bia na Ghana for start nwinwi. But also omu ti ase sa say COVID na ba ye no.
the ahuhia bebreba and aban here na dwen say obeboa yen with free water and free electricity and na why no ehu say no say one introduce new taxes na be cover sa app we no di ma yen free na e betumi akrash yan system no yan na edum kane aye complain yan na etu ye pipe ma aye complain so Ghana for ye be pe ne sa na the ehia ni say aban introduce taxes a media me pese me hu and he said menya good water, good electricity and good road asa. And this is what we use to develop a country.
Media
mene ne ya adwen pa.
Ya da se bebre. Ya ne obra pani so be ka se bisa se obani also odwe ho say yeah new taxes and levies here what 2021 budget who ne say.
Tax in the bidoso. Tax the home say the chire man there but ahunhia mre mu there say tax na begusu no anoden. Nti e be sra ma no ye kasa otie dia won yi bebre so na ye ho ye de ataimu ndi se ko ba se o de tax ni begusu bebre a ebe den amaye nti e be sre no ye kasa otie ni de won yi tax ni bebre de emfiri so ye de emaye ye be sre nsuo no no na de mai ba so o san de tax atoso a ni nyina na se kodi ka chechire mu won ema one of two things bi ni ate ase be ko ba se ya ante ase ni e be ate ase budget ye sisense ye be sra ma no se bibia ayatimamufo no ya mai o me ye nyina ye hu ye nyina ye nyutum sa ban ye mai so ye mai na say ye tia se no the task ne to so amaya minim so obia be de ebe nwinwi ba sa akọ be mpafrim ntino ama obia de enwinwi ewi ase de e bibia ekoyie no na bibi so ye de essay enti ye be sra ban no won we ni nsane mienu no no ontete so kakrama na ba se ba normal time ha bibia no aka so de gusuma ye de yen tua
bra pani ya da wase ya ne onu aso be kasa na about taxes levies here or the about or 2021 budget what to be
Martin
what didn't tell on say
oh media or the tax the margin check akra what tax was a tax chiaye eno na ye de bo man ho bra na akwa say yade abeya tax so aba be tomu sie ni de ye be ha ye oman mu fo kakra because edwadie ne Kotobe Tony at the Ateno say, but Samre Ebeha, because of Scasam Wyatt, and Kurama free Coscu. Obi out here, you say Coscu free there, but Scott the Batuto, Mofrano on your macrano. Etene. Now, the best say, Samre, I buy my church Cacra Obia Hobeha, no, na fe, a few Mukra, a few credit, and Mukra, Kona, tax and Beba. Obia on that so 16 aba putu pri de o man yeso ya dwunu se president say omwaye na o man mra from kakrama sisi ye
yo me dia so adwen kire no enti ye be kwa achi na ye ne yo o talk be so abisa say rapeni what is government introduce propose new taxes
Mati
now what did you say taxes no say COVID-19 levy ne esla levy ne akeka what did you say
we media coming kwan come no munya ho bibi ma because sisi amre na ye wo mu no enye mra e be expect bibi sa ezan say oni ama bi enketenketi a ye lusu sa ne ma no ho no mo aban ma ye nsuo se anka ye nsuo nsuo ni free waye si a ji nsuo na free ensa enu na chiri no asan so se me the tax aba waji nsuo na wosan so the tax aba e be den aye adwuma sisi a e na emfa no kran so wono ma ye mu bi no mo strike sisi a baby a gina ne ya fit ba bibi na ama bibi a bibi ntina e gina ha no mu sisi a na me ankasa particular me wo schools ene nsori kifita me ya printing press a me ya adwuma mo but for take of that COVID-19 ninti amani amanyi na agu ebi mbabiom amitna onsu da bi some me okubi o ho no me fa me ho enwura sa business no mu me de me ho re mo susu a ya se the tax atoso eno no nso wa makwa kwanya accident susu e wo ho enti aban yesre ni se onya ho bibi e man because impenifo ni sika no ye betumi dia ye bibi e bre enti wa mo hwe no mo nya ho bibi man
me ne ya oton kube so asebe no ke ni me ne ba so be kasa me bisa se me ne ba na obi taxes here ba government propose what be
pacho mate
na wa wo to atoso dia de bank kakra o bi ho se
oh pacho tax ne de senka be de anko yin free o ma essence high ebe high pa because nyoma na ye ton ya tutu nyoma mu sisi enso sika ni krom obi ba na obisa nyoma no boy se obo ne pro se no okọ nti ye ton ade na affect ye ba nti ye sre no onye bibi mfa ho ma ye pa na chopa bibia mo ye den kroma ye den kasati ye sle ne bebre e pa na cho onye bibi mfa ho ma ye
so kroma ye den ade what say atu bibi so won
pacho mi ankasa personally nyoma metono ya tu ni na munsio say ye de 50 pesos atu bag no so enso obi beto na wo ka che ne sesi a ono ntia se de ono no ton dada na na opeso ye den otono nti no hanky say kwa ya tum pure water drink bibia ya tum nti nyome bia even ufa kakra lorry fe na no me kofa nyoma okuro me fa kade bia me kofa nyoma me fa ne bebre me ba bia 30 cedi 25 na no papa say 40 cedi last 40 on so me say I don't say ya 2 petrol na o de on say ya na one family imagine ma fraka be 5 kra na still me gina ho nti na han pant yesre no onye bibi mfa ho ma ye da
about for ensama omokani ye be koso na ene amafo kakra kasa ne ya hwe omadwe nkyere fa new taxes and levies here dia ba no ya hwe with the tiptoe circle and enami ne amafo kasa fa taxes for dia ba ho ne ya bi some say omadwe nkyere ne sen o taxes no ho omadwe nkyere ne sen o taxes ne levies here dia ba no omadwe nkyere ho no sen with the so enam tiptoe le o hase ya ene ekrofo kasa ene mo be kasa abi some say omadwe nkyere ne sen yo opani ma hu so wani abrefa na maybe say UTV so na wa ye chiao
yeah me so meje wo so
new taxes and levies what be
ma chibi
na wadwen kyerɛ ho ne sɛ
ma dwen kyerɛ sɛ ye pa Ghana ha ya kachiri ye jejeje tax na nkoma na kɔ nanim ka bosia bo bebreba ye jejeje nia no ne ka ye hu bi me de me pene so pa ese ye ma na ye den eka ho ya ntimi anka ho ankyiri ma no ombebre fi so ma de ye bu na no tax na emra nim ntimi de me pene so pa me pene so pa
opani so ade a wakafa the fact that on the principal say omampani anase what propose some taxes and levies no also principal yane bra we su be kasa ebisa say obani ma call about UTV so
yeah mejo so eja
acho what to say omampani introduce so and now propose new taxes and levies bia opese say parliament approve ya e take effect what
me patron mate
na what do you tell on say
oh me so ma do check akra say sebe oman de oman chechira aban wo chechira oman na se wanje ta so be de ebu oman no ntimi de me twin say no so ye ebeboa yan kasa because oman no so oban na nje tax a enyoba akoye besia no ba akobo ana meboa besia no so echire no bo say e de ka ba beto oman no so nje so nje tax na se bebo oman na any problem why ne be ba oman na ye ne e de ehwe
yo man for adwen a wo tie so no many am watching about UTV so. Yo, what is our proposed taxes be through the 2021 budget? They say it's a parliament approve here. What about Juma? What is the taxes and levies beaver?
Pacho Mati. No, my penny yes, I want your money. Just or might be a cost to be a tax, and I'm on my cost.
Yo, Yama Ashafo, Yina Achi, Ediba Abusukai, live. On United Television, UTV, aha, and Ayaba BPM. EPM, Yasem Tiawa. 2020, Abain, Afia Bias and Yenimno, or the Nakomabo, Sika, Ebetuja. 2021, so Abain at the Nedia, Fofro, Assign Abba. Now 2020, Diano, Yura, Furiata, and the Bayer. 2021, and Ura, Chain Sabunsu, Bibintino, or no Ebejina Nemo at the Bayer, and Sembebre, and EPM. Taxes for aba nyoma hurura aban dia tudwa se obeboa o hwe ensuo hunsem nkania hunsem eya nyinamodin yankasa fango ane edwadie hunsem titiriu na eya eto ahuro soso aba bepiem a eno soso enipa ana Ghana fo bebe edi hu enkomo ye bepiem ha yasem tiawa aha ya dwadibia eye abose okan na ye nuanom e ha no soso no ewo adwenkyere bebri e de ma Ghana fo efa ensema ababetu dwai ne omudwa ahorura omudi ne se beboa omankasa mo kanko ene oman no enkanko yepie mu hanom no yepie aboso kan Ponkwal Hassan yekopie mu ho ye ne ebi matwetwe nkomo yebepie mu aboso kan Fanmok aboso kan Presby sisi ameka se yegina aboso kan Odasani na ye nua baako a ono ontumi kofa nneɛma bi fiama no ne ba ɛsan tɔn bi ɛwɔ hanom sei ɛne yɛne no ɛbɛtwetwe nkɔmmɔ yi opening yɛfrɛ wo sɛn na dɛn paa na wotɔn ɛwɔ Ghana.
Yɛfrɛ me Techiado. Me PRMA National Conscience Papers. Me ton engines.
Yo, aban akɔma bɔ sika a ɔde bɛto edwa ɛnɛ ne nansan ya ɛnkyɛ bia no madwenkyerɛ ɛwɔ ho ɛne sɛ akɔma bɔ no ɛbɛso yɛn anaasɛ ɛnso yɛn hwɛ various sectors no ne titiro baabi a woyɛ adwuma ɛyɛ adwadie line.
Okay, ne nsɛm a mewɔ ka no ɛyɛ tiawa ba na mu na ne ɛka ne sɛ sometimes no sɛ aba de to bi ba ɛnyɛ necessary sɛ baabi a woyɛ adwuma nko a na ɛbɛ affect na sɛ yɛ affect o but yɛ wɔ ha yi ne yɛnim sɛ aban no ɔde budget no baeɛ mensa kyɛ bɔ nsu watɔn spare parts before nti akɔmɛhwɛ spare parts aspect no aka ho asɛm ama yɛ sɛ bia yɛka sɛ bia yɛpɛ flat duty no sɛ 20 fita container wode ba sɛ 5000 deɛ bia sɛ dollar no cost ro ɛba from krapa flat na yɛ ho ayɛ wohwɛ covid ba yɛ a containers ma ɛnkɔ ba na aba ɛba so nneɛma ne ba so ne bɔɔde untimi nyi akɔ ɛha bebree ama yɛ ɛna aban yi so no wakɔfa saa to yi abɛbɛto yɛ so to abɛbɛto yɛ so
to na ɛnsia mu ne ɛna
to na abɛbɛto yɛ so yɛ ne amani ne yɛ me ya pa wo pa sɛ banks na wo gu ni wie na wo si yɛ mbɛsetua ho ɛka no ɔno na yɛ me ya no ɛna tu wo ka kyerɛ sɛ covid aba wakɔgye sika almost 1.5 billion wo ka ne nyama dollars a wo say ɛyɛ stimulus packages a obɛma isuofoɔ lightfoɔ adwadifoɔ ɛnɛ kwadwo pɔnkroma ayɛ minister ɛbɛka kyerɛ sɛ aban sɛ saa sika nyinaa na ɔmɔboa na yɛbɛtua aka because ɔmamfa ma free that means na ndada na ɔde dada Ghana for ɛnɛ me no ka sɛ ɔman yɛ si ɔsa sɛ kwadwo pɔnkroma sɛ pam no because wɔde di Ghana fatam because yɛfa tumi nhyɛ musɛm ɛmɛka kyerɛ sɛ yɛde sika ma sɛ fa bɔ yɛ ho ɛbrase na tam na so abɛka kyerɛ sɛ saa na ndada na ɔde dada yɛ
no sɛ wonim sɛ ɔman deɛ ɛtoɔ ne yɛde kyekyere ɔman nti dɛn na wokɛn aban sɛ abia wabɔ mo ho kakra nti mo sɛ momboa ne kakra sɛ nka ɛnyɛ ayi o anaa
yɛ ma menka no krankyerɛ ɛyɛ toɔ ne ɛdibu man na bisa me no sɛ aban sɛ ɛbɛtua bɔɔla ɛna pollution levy UK
petroleum suka
yes but to say me fan one after the other because ko UK ana mo use pollution levy no only how mo giska no omo wo cars akese na fuel na mo de baba ni nya no e de omo giska no wo so omo gi because of say sa carbon dioxide no say e beba food we see na Africa engines ase no obi benya cancer obi benya we into hospital e free bisa me no say Ghana unya cancer na kokolebu e free ana bisa say e free ana enye free abani endi ni ye because of say ya mo sa edom tirim say 80 cent no obi aba no no pe abani endi ni ye wagu anim ase
nti ye pe sika kyekere man o say tax for free fan say dada ne de te honom ensian ya abai emu ne ehe na afo so we de eye pa aban enhwe na onhwe ma na emu ne ehe so na afo so enye kura ne fancy
tax so de banya ne nyina nye because your covid era ne nyina nye
covid era taxes no ne nyina nye nti aban enhwe na onye bi aboso kan odasani area na yewe sane ye kan no yenya ye papa ba ko so ha no ma ono so ye pese ye ne na twetwe komo kakra ye papa ye fra no nana kwabna pepra na ono oba adwadifo nkabom ku a ehwe atutu adwadifo ne oma nyina Ghana ha no aban committee oyi kakraka ba ko no na ono no gina adwadifo Ghana adwadifo anamu pa ewo mu oba guta Ghana Union of Traders Association for penny for ba kosuni aboso kan spare parts ensusu odi ma kutini pa nana pepra ya mo acheba United Television
mejo so obnu
yo nana about the budget by year of roads COVID-19 ebe bogu ye enioma ye bisibisi basa wa manage 2021 here we are for frasen aba ni aba no watibi o na hu ni sen
matibi aban edin shisha ba emse ose se burden sharing no senso how oman mu how ne nyina ye chicha na kakra enti no wo the taxes bi aba
nyane kwan so ano no
taxes die wote oman mu na ye nipa kra wote oman mu na aso ntua taxa na mimi hu fa so ene sen sabio sika ye gege no eno a ne de boy ho bra eno ne de akwan electricity aye ka ho asem eno na agba de ye agba be ye mpuntuju ho bia ye to na ye tua no eno na de ye
fantastic
nti ena yeso ye wo kwan se ye to ne kwan a de odi sika akoye no so no eze se de ye be ka no agba tso fa
Namuka sa aban fa.
Aban wo kwan se otimi ye niema. Na mom e wo kwan so se wono so gi ka kwan ho na ode ye nhihye no. Ebi ni se sesi ya sa VAT na wasade 1% ba beto so ne de adwadifo ye nte ase. De me kan ni se aban twe no no nsan. Na oni adwadifo kuokuo yi a ye wo ho yi ntena se. Na bia na yeso ye wo nyansan bi kakra bi se bio a ye de beboa na ya kire kwan no na aban atimi afa so na sika aban pe no ne nsa ka.
Anyway 1 out of 5 petroleum police.
Petroleum no so asem America ne se ya ye wo ho yi. Unim se mra ye wo mu ye mre papa. Enya mre papa free se. Ye nyina enim se yade ekodi awuo yi wadi enya. Enti wodi enya yi no amadwadie ene bibia ye bia na bre no ho ase. Na menua me bi so wasem o. Yeti we say adwuma ne nkoso adwuma no wo be ye nya ho faso akwakotua ho tax a. Na ye se ye sa be je tax foforo na nya esutro mienu. Eno so amani ha ne o.
Na ban so hia sika dia titro man kwan ben na nka onfa so.
E kwan ne se sa ban hia sika no de beto no a obenya sika ne nyina atoto ne yama ne nyina makura ya hyepe ne nyina yekọ.
Mukọ he.
Yekọ nananom ho. Na kuro da ho na adam pan. Enti de me kire ne se ye nyina
Yama UTV ahwefo nyina kwaba de bakumase sesi a transform market na medina na de enti e wo ha anopai ene se enchei na onunyamfo oseiche mensa bonsu okogina mu ma Ghana soafo hwesika sem so a odo me yakonhoma sika ho sem kotudwa na emu no eto kakra eya afoforo eba mu ebi ye de de baba sisa efin bola ebi so ye de ato fango so ade se dodo na ekira o ma adwen bi se oni aban ne ya adwen bi sisi dabi na nka hu hia enti e wa transform market a ye ne asenkafo ne omo ton ade e na ebedi nkomo ye mompini ya papa sankani bi e wo ha ne ne ntwetwe nkomo misa ne se na adwen ye ne se me nua bema ye fra wo sen ye nim so ye sankani we ye driver to aban ne de aba no sen e na wo hu no
eto no de aba ne de ye nyina ye ni je hu de na kakra ha ne se ya driver fo no me kasa free me wa so den ho na me loduo na okoto ade bia ade eto no bia 1.2 no obekon bia 2 million 3 million 3.5 yesu ye no fe no susu no a se yesu ye benya kakra wo me ye de kwakoto ade no still no fe ni ye ntum mu ma yen ye ha pa e ha ye no no eno ma bi wo na akoto a ya tum ye fe no su na ye ehia yen ti asra ban se nhihye ye no omnya ntantam ma ye na ya driver fo no enso na beboa yen yesu ye ba ye jezo tai kura sese ne ye to bi bia 1.5 no sese ye to no be 3 million wahu ya tutu bibia non verse so a ye ntum ye ha no no anti asra ban se ne kine ya omomo tutu non fe mu esu ya ma ye ha no no na budget ne de ene de eye na de ha ye eno no
ye nua driver for front so ha ye hwese ye ne no ebedi enkomo papa won so ye fra wo sen na eto aban de aba foforo wadwe ye wo sen
ye fra me ye waje bi free asante mampon na ye ha okese no aban de to a budget no ma ready aka ho na ye kwantempon mampon kwa no so no ubeduru to ho no yetima ye se ba bia wo magisika ne de ya yo kama se ka bia nko swi ni fa kobum betu wura aboa so krom ene entonso krom a amna da wetima sie ni pa momo na yi nti ya saban se ya ye bia ne to ne otuma ayen na afenso dize na o matotum no onye bo no ma ye nyina ye hontoye no bia honto no na sa mampon road no aboa so ne yi no amna ne ho no musia no musisi ma na yentua ho ka
ya da se ya ma me ba ko so ha oton ade ye bisa ne se aban de to aba ye de bi besisa bola awo batampa uhu ne se
me pa cho anodin evisa bola na nkasa wo kotugu a ye jiusika dada ye jiusika enti mi fi se sika na wo muji ye no wo mu amoano na nka wo mu koji ekofa bola na sa wo mu ji sika no momu etua sese eba se ota be ye free light be ye free enso sese be le ye dia breye no esin se first na nka ye tua no ti ni nyina ye niema bi a e ha adwema ye pa ye sa tutu petrom wo bedwomu a sika wo dinti ye ntwa de nipa no onya bibi ya e na oba obi okra obeto ade okrom na lolo fe no e din a oma so ni nyina ya niam bia e ha ye pa nti esra aban onhu ye mobo na o ma niam mu kofo maye
yo mame ya dance ya hasi
Abusia for share live UTV so critical issues any eguso a ye bro because Ghana budget on critical issues ye to petrol munum ne other things are a critical issue pa ye be pay dwuma ma amrante ne maba aye na ni nyina akwa office of government machinery and also a critical issue or say kan what ye call aboso kan ko tip to akokumase akwa Ghana fo ankasa mo state of economy no mo budget on it is saying ye nto so wo studio and so honorable nana ayu we free ewo ahase na doctor do susa akode so ewo studio from economics department doc na me busa o issues first of all reaction to the microphone kan ewo krom taxes no mo back come dey
I mixed osha ebj2 mu ebiso anje atum osha ba ko so a ono episode say what tax here I was say at the end of the year no the reasons why now what taxing what the value na back abeka ho no omo clearly say okay ade we ade beka ho no na e pese de yes ade we boy my yes say ko ye ne say hindi say wo UK na wo je pollution tax say do kan no na emissions no ma omo nya cancer na cancer for no ye bibi ma omo now at the end of the day, no, one church more says okay, some of the benefits for this one, sanitation and co, no, a rubber bags, free, they want to understand and then they want to also measure it. So I think there was a cost step down to be able to communicate for people to follow exactly what I saw it, and it is very important. So. A mix. Some disagree entirely. I say all of it, you know, which we can say a bit realistic. I mean, under the circumstances, and a bit also a crazy fun. So I think say.
But we say ne baby so kasa magic kania, mama munsu, most more taxi add this kane back.
Yes.
But there was a point where
good. A certain. Propaganda. I'm sure the government machinery, the communication machinery would have to look at this because I've heard on, some NDC guys who says, "Oh, okay, we'll tax in Sunu di China, I think we'll tax it," but a trickle down and the information is a from assessment by each stage and the whole level, no status. And Akoya said the big cano, or Matthias said. One man in Suno, and was also a taxi at the Jawadi. No, it's not true. Now, Osha budget now under COVID-19 related expenses, no. Say Osha in Suno, any electricity, no. I extended, and the budget allocation here for now is 200 million.
200 million.
Until Obiant me, Kojana Baby and Kasa President Wajin Su. And light now, Utiana Sana Obetia. And the Unti
meka ho.
Unse, Kwesi Boche Breso. That time no, na, oh sorry, say I be ready budget and no beer coffee the black and white TV. Na black and white TV no besha. Why dream na ne say? Petrol. It is say, yenya career ya pena, on my war market in the jadi for no. Omunim economics say. On train my own choir appropriation. Unya ka budget ni wie na ade chen your call you say oh you ready budget enti it is here ya di petrol ne maso ekoso enti because of the historical perspective you know see your petrol here you say you increasing it by 5%. If you have 5% you know say a liter no yeah minim say 5 point something 5% of it a pump, you know, really small. What was the idea? No? To say the NDC for 2016, almost 27% on 2016 pair. But before the 4 years, no, today let me count on the floor of Parliament, you know. Before the 4 years, no more to back 11, back 4.7, their boss Tropano was the 27 on the in way in Swiss Yawomo. Yen Swiss Yawomo. Yen for him also to Homo. But what we are saying is that yen Timiso so and yin soon free her preoccupy. Now,
me clarification say on taxes no, and yet in Suoni Kania Eka and a mode man for so into no manum no that
Omuchaka Debbie. Still no.
I buy chance you.
A chance you.
I buy checkania.
A checkania no. Say what that.
No better could see that.
Then will be Timony say. Yenya to tax muno. Not the light bill across so. None in so across into. Oh no. A perception beer. A one it Timu say. Yenya bought tax war parliament there. In so no. We because of maybe a free Edebano. But what I want to assure the citizens is that this time around it's not the same thing. Even transport no crown, that is why government is saying that across the next 3 quarters, income taxes in free honor. So even transport for no increase, but bread because the ebektion or the ajao into oko increase I know the coca home. And Ediania was no Ediano no because of planting for food and jobs. And there are a lot of food on the market. And the effect on food will be so negligible. So what I say, a smart budgeter I take it into consideration. However, on my benefiting it for the past 1 year in Kuala a goofy bibra, a Jumaya ego, dear na ye your moment na fee, and not in a napco. Across now, what it means is that they would rope in more of the kids. Now, our also, Bosumi 7 million or the Bama Obano, Abaya Efa. In this tax me and Sano, say you farmer Abaya and Fan Colani. Now, a general to one sound I'll bet you. And I say, Abaya so can say, Cecia Tibia, ye way, and ye. Obusiani bia mfa enhene sapomunsuo school fees yentimi ntua no bebre se na yetua na ntane ya na di free SHS bae ye bete so na obi ntua fa no ntua fa na siki beba no ye mfa nkote ye kaso ana ye mfa nkoye ekwan mawa ejanum na nan meka se oh hade o ye ne fefefe na hade na esa bese enti aban pese o che o se memene ade me eya obi wo ho min kwa no me fa ne sa enye yie ena me de ma wo so nkwa se fa so a enye yie enti sa na be ye dia me fa dodo no ba wo de kitikiti bi na wo betimi aye dia bo e wo sa hu yen ye mu fa bo aye that is all. Okay,
you come back to first this NAPCO office of the president with the government machinery na honorable ayini kase we increasing by 300%.
Yeah.
Now, my breakdown of what institutions are shas here.
Yeah.
I am more no eco
yeah.
Ebi na okay na in order to take more students.
Yeah.
Now, we need to make bed more.
Exactly. Now,
go back to honor.
Yes. Into Oshe Office of Government Machinery. I'm quite one. Oshe no. Obe say clearly no scholarship secretariat. Can we afford to say that yankwala etukwan into your fees and a krobe na afibia ni fees on totoso me wo Leeds University na me fees a me tua afe was £11,000. Now a young boy me recommending no call Leeds, he is paying £26,000, probably just over 10 years. I don't know if 10 years things can just double in the UK, even UK. So at the end of the day, no, so you cannot afford to say it's a scholarship, no. First, on my one untia, tiane dying tiane bibiaka. Send a COVID no abo hano, and then I walk almost some more. And say if you're at 20 dime or ha, maybe I call no certain. If you're at 2, and I buy the was so go to say school fees in my and now we are the ones me can say because of COVID in unko to scholarship bio. Still I was all day in Kuala. Ekwa broach e bi so e wo Ghana ha yia a ye decentralize say scholarship no mo general districts.
Okay.
And you know government has also increased in Kuala because ahochire aba no in Kuala na e de ma wo district no e ye 40 a e be ko 60 70 na che say aban in Kuala na ahochire wo fie no yi aban fa bebre e de ama wo. It say aban yes ade we ya me megidi say eye o ji kakra wa ha no na odane bi so wa ha sei
na ama office of government machinery
akosro yes okay so scholarships wo ho
institution
Maslock e wo ho NAPCO wo ho National Identification Authority because ohwe National Identification Authority a and yes sir
registration they have to increase
another 200 million aba increase now you have then the monetary and evaluation ebe shemu yi and Zongo Development Fund and the Ministry of Special Initiatives Zongo Development Fund
then Zongo Development Fund na eni ho e mo mobile na mo de Zongo Development be
yes in the cost and MSI so na eni ho Special Initiative yes they are taking almost 900 million
okay
that's why they are saying
to be fair to ayine no ye mo na mama we no Office of Government Machinery no budget and cost
because a special initiative the president want to make sure say mo yeni was
okay
because a project into Afia I can mention some of the special initiatives if I use myself and it is across and yet only Afia but mamemfa yenya one example Afia Senior Technical School institutional toilets or my very big and very nice yentimi starting year because akaka krebi was a contractor nya
no crash should qualify as special initiative
say omobebusa wo MP no yes
okay
now so oko campaign no ahemfo no kan de omope nti ya list wo ho
no de aka ho
nti de oma list no de ahemfo no pe no and now be deliver dem aban nti that is the issue at stake now boreholes you have two boreholes 10 KVIPs I was almost 20 baby wo ho a yenko ho kra atakro mu ne nsu tep chese contractor no krampo no fe no kramfa because sisika bia ne ho enti ono onne woka ya the contract man na emfa sika ma me ya mpeye de ba that is why Aban is saying that yenfa new one ba we are going to pay the contractors omonko na baby a omoko start bibia no munwie
okay
enti yesa na Aban push sika bebree because we say
okay, but it still doesn't justify the fact that more there no say the na me busa more Office of Government Machinery nkwamo there cost and you are justifying it to say budget in the way abeka your pese na judiciary matter omo there so parliament or matter omo there so even to the point that Babin Crab threatens say hey someone fire there my yen so yen approve oh but to that extent that's what I say other arms of government so more MPP aba mpese mo show mo
Doctor, but before you come in the parliamentary budget for me as far as I saw under the parliament budget doc if you look at parliament let me go to the summary here quickly Obehu say if in any case, there's no way I'm going cut down on goods and services. Maybe your proposal will be say, "Oh, say we capital investment to be." Now, buy a culture will say, "Mr. Sir, Parliament new building now, say we see no, Charlie, over 270 million 50 mean to me and your project in the house here. Into the over penal unya, but about to me culture will say workforce / so." And about to me can say goods and services are all the be running no there be but there could be some expectation of which government did not meet intina or kasa in parables into government presidency or government and the legislature no I was so almost reserving to that but oshe sami na be person me who parliamentary a friend say the budget yes in parliament the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs they have a budget which is different so what I say and what we're talking about is the parliamentary services so what I say which you can classify as an agency and the which means which is not which is an independent arm of government
and it's not under ministry no
the venerable the legendary chairman is authority on his own is a majority leader and appointed as that so I know in your way but this is that side they cannot say because you did not give parliament the open on your budget so now honorable say chairman it is not possible you can't do that you can lobby it out because parliament ye juma committee me no can say ye committee meeting ewo baby wo hotel ewo ha enti ye time a me de be kwa kwot na fie ne me mawa research school started exams and me research school me ni omo na be wi omo exams because exams ba me tukura me cancel. I have to be with my kids to make sure they go through their way. No. Now I am being forced after UTV first of all to come here. 2 we are kotna o plaza na wasan so atena ho no mo akosi 10 p.m. na wasan so akotena fi na umada. You know what I mean? So there is a committee in parliament who work coming to say we call plenary now obekasa no there a different thing. But the real legs of it a committee work.
Committee
okay. Se budget na committee di be ye adwuma no oye den obetua o call o plaza na o koda wo say 2 days a se obetua wo so se eno na Abba for Musua, we need to judge and they will find solutions to it. So I don't think that there's a big deal. But judiciary wanted to build their new complex. They got money from government. On person ICT, whatever. They got money from government. And the judiciary will be taken care of. ABA, one person will recruit to NIPA 100. Government will tell you that at this time, I can't let you recruit NIPA 100. I can take about 10. So we need to understand.
So it's not intimidation tactics.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
because
not.
People have read into it a raising governance issues because as I said, Parliament is independent. As I say, buying so independent, but as I say, Parliament is such a bayanu. But dog, but so who answer this issue? Adena. Is it justified? So Office of Government Machinery in budget to cost 300%, and the other arms in the Omodi Swatiana?
Yeah, based on the list now, the Amayan, on say budget, no share appendix no reading now. Your compensation of employees, your goods and services, and your projects. And this year, Ankasano budget, the focus on projects, apart from maybe the year of Rose now, can even again 111 say, "I don't bet me." Rose no sunya do metima completely na enti
agenda wa no mu
this year o metima start o ntimi o metima wi ara bia na miracle bia na schedule ba bia minimum but based on budget estimates no dey onya do metima wi enti bia they will shift the focus from projects to little expenditure on salaries and goods and services because computer also auto and goods and services look maybe I'm back to the debate on capital expenditure and recurrent expenditure because so we lift a capital expenditure the lift and say now we repair a goods and services so you need the goods and services to run the capital expenditure. And to some of the things you can't cut it but I want to submit to government say they should just prove to Ghanaians say I want you to balance a most to a salary more munye bibi na Ghana for hu se ampa ahokira ba na yina bibi what okay you bet mate so say 10 cars I also may use 5 na Ghana for munya nka mo de camera wa ko so mo twa then you explain to Ghanaians say mo hwe na na do kra nkasa motor gate they say 5 because we hu se ahokira ba na that is what Ghanaians want to see but it's true that some of the things they can't cut it because don't even call you obi this is here. And I want to make country be say, oh, it's the salary. So until the only thing you can do is to suspend the projects, or you don't add on because this budget is not adding on new projects. Until say be a judiciary the new project koya. I'm sure some number negotiations are court for don't know kasaya ya may your contempt. Until the issue about until moment minimum negotiation but they don't add on new projects. Now let me bring the argument to many people have accused.
But before the call, no, this issue say salaries more 3 years. No, is it justified in economics? Because and no NDC for a issue say austerity measures now require me for kodia. So mo the employment fees to NDC for the time and no more. Catch you no be uni who say wakati akatu motoke no corruption in so account. But adie who say austerity na wo ye no but wo dey way increase no and now workers ordinary workers are to bidi for no so won to your salary mo
okay because so one to salary mo on to the diem that is what we must understand because they are all paid through controller and because president is to control and the I don't know am I right honorable
president controller mo salary you controller
yes
okay and increment ya obia ye ntuma ya obia
but as Gasha now as Gasha it went up by I think 50%.
And also
as Gasha
we can talk about that
50%.
yes they can reduce it for Ghanaians to see
yeah, because you know what COVID crisis now as Gasha nko control by 50%.
yes
me why ya Kenya na wo se ye nchire yam
yes nti also mo so chire mo yam kom kakra na omutimi ye ema obia ho nti sa salary adjustment no a national tripartite committee and a no but more discuss I think the major variable they look at is inflation. Now as you speak inflation in 9% 10% and you know to the point here I call for any further increment so inflation gene ho 12, 13, 14, 15 na me sure say aban timi ntanse nyanhwe ha obetum because the unions in Ghana they are so powerful that they can force the hands of government to do something. And I think everything will be left into the hands of the National Tripartite Committee. Omushia they will negotiate. Say enuanum inflation ya na ehwe animu edit to akatuam. Say was say a yes a trap akatuam but say na ho kire na aba. Into inflation so enye ne hu bia sa na nti yentwentwen so kakra o kan sa Ghana for betia beto mo ase but the motion inflation na bia 13 14 15% ya o metima ko committee no akose committee no enye government nko na te wo eye workers nyina representation in the tripartite committee nti o metima negotiate say there be yenye ntu because inflation agene ho nti mo nto akache na inflation no enko so pepepe but ade ba kwam pesa me kacha no say in the year 2017 and 2018 inflation was in single digit. Ghana for a kind of for their real salary increased. Their real salary increased without government coming to announce or government adding any nominal value to it. I don't know if you understand.
How?
Because
inflation no okay.
Inflation area area sika.
Sika okay.
Nti aboa na ori sika na wan repia isika na ebeka na kakra bi. But so already bebra I was say yedi bi so eka ho I say nsuogu bucket mu na inflation enwunu no nti say enwunu bebra nti in the year 2017 and 2018 per calculations there was an increment in the real salaries of workers aban shada to by no yedin ade yedi ruku go workers no obi eno ho a oti ne ngu abonche so say hey, menya increase in my real wage until me demonstrate about me mpe. Ye yedin ko me ya twaka twema e bi kame. Me aba na twia meka. Until ya twaka twema e bi kame me di. But we are talking economics here. Say ahonchira aba. Inflation so nyame adom e under 10%. Until say ye monitor ne kakra. I think for the next 3 years there menya sure say want to win the next 3 years. Menya sure. It can't travel the next 3 years.
And possible so obeka so to work a salary mo.
For the next 3 years, oh, it's not possible. It can't travel that far.
Okay.
It cannot. It
At
cannot.
least
maybe this year.
Okay.
Maybe this year.
Okay.
And Amaka say, I didn't pay you for seeing a drum ra. I didn't yesika. Revenue. And to say, I buy no cresika, dear. Okas 10% obatum.
Okay.
Okas 125 obatum.
Okay.
And yema ye revenue na ye peno. Yanke kan ho na yenya sika no bebre e wo Ghana ha na aban ntimi mfa nhwe ye
doc who can be about say parties no doing politics with budget
yes
and I will cite example about say for instance some people say and near more can more manifesto beyond 2020 and one of their better budget don't you think say they are not doc who can want say me na e be special initiative na there ama office of government machinery no more budget ecostro no these are all political things that come yi free mu a not necessarily nya there because I first saying 1 million per constituencies you call grounder I don't see honorable say benefit to hold here but already na ensure that make it significant impact be at say be a 1D 1F and can do the enough SHS and can be a major policy in come year no free ma in come to me for cost
so that's why I give you the explanation say sankayo your national Ghana plan and a budget minimum say NDPC yen NDPC was that medium term planning NDPC for na year but I'm saying say the 1 year budget most of the things the party in power want to implement or person or year nyoma or can or the manifesto na Ghana for who say because wama anyen so a NDPC for beso mu civil society beso mu media for beso mu say mu kan na man ye for example be a free SHS a national plan mu say Ghana ni bia nko school free enye MPP asem enye NDC asem se budget ne ba na se 300 million e sha no se free SHS say ya enko share government machinery na se ebeye the Ghana budget no ebe sha ase and I have a problem with that say manifesto no ebeye budget and no there is because you can't blame the politicians too because na Ghana ha yenye ntumu say yenye national budget ebia for the next 10 years ento ho 5 years 10 years ento ho na party bi ebe we ni bia no o metare ho kakra bi o metare ho kakra esa na enoma ono abobo so nyina ne nyina be kwa kwhye the functional budgeting. And that is, this brings me to my second point. Say, functional budgeting should be attached to the line item budgeting. Because functional budgeting, no, say education, every single item that goes under education should be there. Into scholarship should be there. Free SHS should be there. Get funds should be there. Anything, teacher for your laptops or training and share. Ghana in the 90s, they practice functional budgeting. Because so this 9-item budget now you won't free SHS da and I question we know and then I created the problem because that get funds soon and baby scholarship secretariat and ha but we have functional budgeting now a Greek fertilizer sheho cocoa sheho roads cocoa roads din na she agric ase na ama understanding no aye pepepe enti politics no there they will play it but because you need national plan no and until na so na we united but nipa no so no what to Obama 4 years they campaigned you voted for them for 4 years and they have a social contract with Ghanaians until wanya obetu atia no until politician bia ba power obeye na dwen say obeye de oka can say oka amount for cash amount for say obeye because wanya obetu atia no that is where my professor will say there is this dichotomy between the political expediency and economic efficiency. What they brought for the mode. The dichotomy between political expediency and economic efficiency. My professor Nina, the Ochre Munina say, politician na yato abama no. Wa campaigning ni yato amano. Enti adia obeye ama obejina obe can say obenya 2 million obeye even if it is against economic efficiency principles. Even if it's against economic efficiency principles, obey. Okay. And this is where the problem is. Say, because in the national budget, you know, MPP bar, obey the campaign, NDC bar, almost obey the campaign. So the Bayer Ghana will not hold them on ransom. Say, yeah, to Obama, they obey. Okay. We know my kind now.
Because NDC minority raising this issue, say budget way a political budget because you start free money in MPP for a just. So that Ombe winning. But my young politics. Now saying this wasn't up and consumer young politics. And during my politics. Now let me give you this. Every single social intervention program I support it. Every what Ghana no? Yes,
because Ghana economy ain't to a certain level. Also we judge the market. Say the market na anye do pay. And government social intervention programs in this livelihood empowerment against poverty leap no Brazil for the start here kwa Argentina ko hwe omo nyina wo bi direct cash transfer ya the boy Ghana had nipa they say ameno kasi nipa 1.5 million Ghanaians at the extreme poverty
but omo party for NDC wo power no ncheche money party for MPP for power no ncheche money
no say leap no NDC time ya na ho
na ho na ho omo fam ma party for it does it go to the real
another issue.
I
am speaking on the policy.
Okay.
But you are speaking about the end results, implementation. And so a very critical issue. Say, Sikano, Munya party card asem. Nanu ye duani ye lucky down ya de che duani. People say, "Oh, party card we asa de amu duani and ye Ghana for ye." But the principle behind the livelihood empowerment against poverty, lipuno, it is justified. It is very much justified. Say, yemwa government should intervene. Yes, sir. Here for ombe uweja. And so we just market and say market na nye school. Here for man ko school. And free SHS no bebre entimi nko secondary education. And government intervention is always necessary.
In the social protection,
it is critical. It's even critical at this point.
Even though
it is even critical at this point.
COVID,
yes. Okay. The social intervention. That's what we call a safety net. That is why I'm saying last year, who framed TV show and I'll be saying, and can you answer the infant China? Do I support it? I told you yes. I support it. In critical situations like this, you need the safety net.
But support it from last year. No one could see June extend any politics.
Well, June way no there. Now political decision election this year election. No can say political decision. Okay. So this year election be no. Omo na de koye election campaign. And until na botia wo mu no. Why the mokoye campaign last year mokoye campaign. Mo na mo di so de kan ya ko gina platform so di year campaign. And then come on for ankoye campaign and come on for nkase mo de politics. Okay. From economic point of view, it is justified. Okay. Say in times of economic crisis, you support America for $1,000. Minya madam for be amene kasa no ya $1,400. And an account you credit no.
On o makra o matumi gibe.
Aha so de. O ka say enkosa line $1,000 chaos a basic Ghana na COVID can fa no ho. So the president is saying that on chicheska. But obe support ensure and nkani and dey sebio and ensure do bia sebinom. Nkani e almost say I agree say it did not cover 100%. Almost obu ho a oto ensure baby. Tango for ni nyina no am say I affect you but to the large extent it is justified say obeboa o manfo emra ye wa hihiem. It is justified.
Just to add to Doc there, obviously, America there knows that the concept, is the same, but almost the treasury, almost printium seeker, and how inflation, how damn the consequences because their system is solid. The developed countries, unlike they are now service driven, innovation, technology, driving on, and they are always on top and they are moving. Though Ubeka say economy I do point to I static, but it's been driven by technology so much that I diversified. Now, say ye budget, central government borrowing last year 0. But normally in the past, you would want to take borrowing from Bank of Ghana. And I say even at this time,
that been 0. This year in 0.
You have even governments are saying that you have up to 10% of the previous year tax revenue.
Up to 5 per the
up to 5.
IMF.
Okay. IMF up to 5.
Up to 5.
Or no say
0.
Yes.
And a parliament for me yes. Ghana is too young to do 0%.
Yes.
So, and a parliament passing 5%.
5%.
Up to 5%. Okay. But you can do 0, which they did.
Okay. Which we did.
Well, last year.
Under 5.
Under 5.
Year 0, I still under 5.
Okay. You see, now, say a current position, and anchor your system be to me, you go through that situation way down. Maybe another argument about because we are always on the fiscal. The catcher was saying PHY, FIS. You would be on the fiscal, but there is another part of it. You could have worked yourself out from the difficulty through monetary policy okay. By enhancing money circulation. But you should also know, say, America, 1.9 trillion check now, President signing Ono is working money out of difficulty. Do you know why? Because almost system, inflation cost to a kakrebi, a bit me absorb it. And like I said, import dependent economy. And this okopra one say okay, what can bro focus here 5%, forget about them. Go and print money. Demand pool inflation. You are going to get money circulating and the CD is going to be changed rapidly because technology will cheap. Bibia okra. It is odo sika bebre no eko jisika the dollars e dey akọ amona ne akomo bo say osidi no top from so dia ene nipa be wi nipa nam enu ntina ama yentumi fa monetary policy unlike oko US ni advance we na say see here there Biden here last week no signing 1.9 trillion. You know what it means? What it means is that we are under a difficult situation. Money can do everything. Let's check money in.
Okay.
But because some cameras is saying no, yeah. Until your mouth says you cannot go better more cameras. O consist the dollars. akoto aba. So you are putting pressure. Your reserves, but everything will go haywire. That is why we can never walk our way out of recession through monetary. And yes, Anka, government will not tax the people. Because Masa, but the effect onto me, you will just hand over and say, yeah, I buy no money na muntu. That is why nobody is using that.
Okay.
So I say, it is a difficult thing. It's because you cannot use the monetary policy. Then you have to work on the tightrope of the physical, of which you have gotten about 76 points, whatever percent to GDP. You don't want to. You want to be
the line.
Very careful. So what I say. Then I tell you that we should admit we are scared with COVID, and the economy also is faced with COVID situation. So if the economy was human being, it was definitely in a very. The economic is in pandemic itself. Yeah, and because I so pandemic. Economy now no pandemic no so achino.
Economy na nkasa pandemic.
I'm telling you. Enti no say no aban timi and nye do pe bia.
Okay, nti ani ade na mama kan. So the economy is on ICU and am on ekwe.
The economy was not managed to ICU. Unlike him, he managed the economy to become a sick patient, and then it was with ambulance. It was rushed to ICU. With the MPP, we were stable. Now between last year to now, no, you were spending, and now sick and also no. Ebi a man make home.
And the tia na tia.
Kasa sanso krampo so ate. Enti ye dia no dia, eye force majeure, eye act of nature, unexpected.
Yes.
Ono dia no dia, eye intentionally inflicted. And to look at the two things. Yeah, the same. And to omu there, they are worst managers of the economy. So for them,
any pandemic.
Ose.
Created
by
okay.
Oba no abeka West African Pipeline, Nigeria for be akutu tumuto kro nti pipe obwa. Boni na beka as masa mo de yeka. Muntua yeka. That no mo so Niger data. Gas eba nkofo bi akotu. Na every month bia omo to ade mu a no mo the reason bi aba senti a na papa ne coach boni ne coach charge ya wamko osima za ja mo de yeka se montua yakate na obi ehun se na eho no omo ye quick we say ekotua even small one into omo de ne de it was obeji economy no ye ka fiscal
no
fiscal no sa GDP if anything saying
debt to GDP.
Yes, your debt to GDP after HIPIC could for quarter 40 all call the could do by 50 by 4 so bibia ojama NDC for ever fire kwabani who say sika wo fie betimi aspend bi entwitwa bi ngum anya ade no enya na your friend say we na no omode ye judgment debt left right center nyema na in your project was savannah na enomano say I confirm ne be to ne just ensemble. So you know what, they had a space to have used, they had opportunity
to have changed things,
and they were also blessed with money because kofo oye ni na oja to ho no eja kono oja pade obeja oye no so eto ho so atiase nti wo no obedu ye no na nka obetumi asesa ne ma bebre afi de wo mo beto ye no momu no na ye kodu point bi a afi de na sika wo so wuntimi nje biom wo so na ho kire wo afi de na okobora na osuro so atiase ne or the taxes ho no mo de start a lot of taxes on us so atiase nti omo de no de John Mahama cannot compare his situation to ours.
Doc,
and even as the Crampo still do crown, we are still uncertain whether pandemic be next year. We don't even know. And a recession ponyo na akodu mo pen say depression. So what
depression America for recession kana nyem better. And now what can say if you buy kwa man so na your final comment before I become Professor Gachi, a Dean of Business School at University of Cape Coast. So, Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
Prof, I hope you're well.
I'm fine by the grace of God.
We thank God. Prof, we want you to give us your perspective on this issue. Now, if you look at the economy and the manner in which, according to government in the budget statements, COVID has treated us, the direction of this budget, is it enough to recover this economy that is facing a pandemic?
Well, thank you very much. Well, I think we need to establish the point that every economy goes through a cycle of difficulty.
Okay.
Depending on what factor is at play at the moment. We had financial difficulties in the past. Some were not occasioned by a pandemic, some were occasioned by other global development. So it is not new to have your economy going down the way we are seeing it. But the point is, whether we are going to recover fully depends on global strategies that are being deployed, especially with respect to the vaccination. We are a small open economy linked up with other economies, Europe and other advanced economies. So if they are able to deal with their COVID-19 situation, for which full-scale productive activities begin, and there is resumption of active global supply chain and haulage industry, then that would dovetail into our trade and investment profile, and that would ignite improved economic activities in our country. So our recovery does not depend on only the policies that we think we are putting in place. It must be linked with what is going on in other countries. So I think if that is not in perspective, then government may mislead itself and mislead the people of Ghana. That is very, very important.
Prof, can you repeat that point again?
I'm saying that full recovery from the pandemic does not depend on only the policies that Ghana is putting in place.
Okay.
We are a small open economy. We have investment linked with other economies. We have trade linked with other economies. In fact, some of our policies will be better implemented when other partners that we have in our global economic management support us in terms of capital inflow and others. So you can't think that your recovery is dependent on what is put in the budget alone. It's dependent to a large extent about active resumption of global supply chain and logistics, in which there is flow of goods and services, materials across board, and investment inflow from other economies into our economy. And that would depend largely to how the vaccine rollout becomes successful in major economies across the world.
Okay.
And
okay.
that is key.
But Prof, beyond the rollout of the vaccine, if you were an advisor to government, how would you advise government to get out of this almost like a recession of a sort? Because we have been told that the economy is in a crisis. We are in a crisis. How can we get out of this crisis?
I think the crisis of the economy is presented in some economic indicators. So this is the time you engage in what we call efficient prioritization of expenditure. So government ought to look at its expenditure and ensure efficient prioritization of the expenditure to be able to contain the financial pressure that we have now. And you should also align that in a good balance between taking care of your productive sector, that is the employment, those who are working for government, and the labor market in general. There is a need to strike a fine balance between the sacrifice they make and the support government gives in this sector. That is very, very important because you cannot think that you are solving an economic crisis when you impose burden beyond the strength of the people who are to be sacrificed.
Okay.
Now, if you say game tax, for example, if I don't involve in gaming, I'm not going to pay that tax. So that tax is a choice. But if it comes to taxes on energy sector, petroleum sector, banking sector, increase in VAT, etc., they are taxes that are resident or incident on consumption. And these consumptions are naturally sensitive consumptions that many Ghanaians cannot do without. So if these taxes and levies are congregated in the basket of items that majority of people will consume, and you have indicated that there is no plan to improve drastically their wage levels, etc., it means that there will be deeper erosion of the same level of income for the people. And instead of looking at them as contributing to solve the problem, you are rather, if you like, killing them.
Okay.
So there should be a fine balance between the sacrifice you want the people to make, the prioritization of expenditure you have engaged in, and the cushioning effect that you provide for the people.
Okay, but Prof, do you see that in this budget? Do you see all these three components in this budget?
I do not think that has been reflected very well.
Okay.
And before I go to the explanation, I need also to establish the point that you see, we have different types of communication about the economy.
Okay.
If the economy is going through a boom period, there is a way of communicating. Largely, you want to vote. Largely, you want to indicate that you are doing well. But when the economy is in the situation in which we are, that the burden has been overstretched, when you...
Hello, Prof. I'm saying, Prof, you are still on the line. Your line nearly cuts off. So go ahead.
When you are communicating about the economy in a situation we find ourselves, you communicate with an appealing voice, empathy to the people, assurance to the people. But if I hear the communication that is going about, some people even go back to 2000 and compare what was happening in NDC, and it's as if you are looking away from the burden on both members of NPP, NDC, other parties, and Ghanaians in general. In the interest of political, expediency, and that does not show empathy to the people in the crisis that they are facing, and that is not to be encouraged.
Okay. I think I like the last part, Prof, that you brought in. I should thank you. But before you go, the point about the taxes. So you are saying that you support the betting tax. You support government because the minority was in disagreement with government that betting automatically should be banned. So they don't approve of the taxes there.
I think the minority is talking about the morality of that tax.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the incident of the tax.
Okay.
The incident of the tax is by choice. So if I don't involve in gaming, I will not pay that tax. But it is very difficult to say that most Ghanaians will stop taking trotro because there will be increase in transport fares and there will be increase in fuel.
Okay.
They have no choice. They will by all means involve in that transaction. It is very difficult to say that because I'm going to buy a certain item that is VAT compliant, I will not pay that because of the VAT. I will not consume that item again. People will consume anyway.
Okay.
So you can see that there is no choice in many of the areas of the levies and the taxes for Ghanaians. That is where the hardship is pronounced.
Okay. So in conclusion, Prof, this budget cannot revive the economy, or it cannot improve the situation as it is in a crisis mode. It cannot.
It doesn't present that picture. And the reason is simple this. In 2021, we are supposed to spend 35 billion to pay interest alone. And we are going to spend about 30 billion to cater for wage and wage salary related issues. And remember, we are also going to pay, we are also expecting new borrowing about 31 billion Ghana cedis. How much are we committing to supporting the pillars of the economy in terms of strategic infrastructure? Kina, we are not talking yet about goods and services. We are not talking about even amortization of the principal of the loan. We are not talking about all those things. So you can see that the cycle will continue as we saw at the end of 2019. In 2019, we are talking about high debt levels. We are talking about how the tax revenue is able to cater for only compensation and interest payment. That has not changed. So the cycle is just continuing. And there is a need for us to break, retreat, and see whether there is a need to change strategy to accommodate the difficulty within a short period of time and exit. But if I hear you very well, I think there is somebody in the studio trying to portray that the crisis we are facing is just like coronavirus. We don't know when it is going to end. So invariably, we don't know when this financial crisis is going to end. When you communicate like that in a crisis, it's like you are giving up. It's like it's like you have gotten to the end of your policy, the basket of the policies that you have on hand to deal with the issues. So I think we need to pause and see how we look at what we are facing now and deal with the issues.
Okay, Prof. Honorable Dr. Nana Afia, he's the one who made that comment about the economy being similar to a pandemic. So he wants a rebuttal, Honorable.
Yes, I mean, I think his opinion is allowed for him to make that opinion. But obviously, like I say, the uncertainty is there. It is the truth, and the reality is that between now to December, we don't know if the cycle is going to start again. And therefore, there is that uncertainty. And that doesn't mean that we have
given up.
In any case, I'm making you to understand that the repercussions of this uncertainty measure, if indeed, God forbid, perish the thought that there is going to be another cycle, then it's going to call for further expenditure.
Okay.
And that can even make the economy much more in distress than it is now.
Okay.
So what is the you have to have futures.
Okay.
Part of economic policy is planning. You should be able to understand the MTEF or your medium term, short, medium. You should think as if now, short, medium. So if you are planning, you should figure what is going to happen at the end of the day, the next year, 2-3 years. You understand? So I'm talking about the fact that as an economic policy person, here I'm looking at now, I'm looking at tomorrow.
Into the future.
You understand? And that is why in the long term, there will be some inward looking, like the doc said, taxation.
Policies. Okay.
You understand? Because initially, you would want to go the Keynesian approach where you want to allow people to spend it out. But when you are spending, and you are a policy manager, and you are spending, and then you are looking at, is the vaccine going to work? Are we going to have a vaccine that will say immunity is lasting 2-3 years? And those who are bringing the vaccine themselves are bringing uncertainties that we don't even know.
Because even in Europe, there's an issue with Sweden there. There's an issue. Uncertainty. Because people have registered.
It is the virus that caused this economic crisis.
Right.
Virus so now my economic he understands. Virus that my economic crisis now ban. Virus so no. You containing the virus. So once we have not been able to contain the virus, and you don't have a clear picture of the virus.
But not Prof,
and also
how you are communicating.
Yes. And that one
then
I
it
agree
looks
with
like
you.
what give it.
I agree
Prof,
with
what do you get the explanation of from the member of parliament? He says that is not what he meant, but he's looking into the future to
for
look
people
at,
to understand.
Yeah, the uncertainty of even the virus, the vaccine itself.
Yes, and taxing. The reason of taxing now, is that in the short term, you can hold brief, say, yeah, let's remove this. But after a year, we cannot. So now we are taxing. And even that, the air but this is the way we have to go. So nobody is giving up. We are up. Yes.
No, Prof.
Sure.
Hello?
Prof, is the explanation from the honorable member all right for you?
Well, I think what is appropriate, in my opinion, is that when there are issues like this, what we do is that some of the indicators will give you a clue as to what we call the pass-through period.
Okay.
So for now, we can say that the burden of debt will have a pass-through period of this number of years or this number of months, etc. Those projections are possible even within the uncertainty. And when these things don't ease down, then then you come out with another analysis, perhaps to prolong the pass-through period, or is going to be shorten the pass-through period. Okay. So you cannot indicate from political economy point of view and from policy point of view, you cannot indicate publicly that there is uncertainty and you don't know what things are going to happen. And when the people are complaining about hardship, what you are signaling to them that you don't know the end of their hardship. And in my opinion, it is not proper way of communicating economic difficulties to the people. There must be a pass-through period.
Okay.
Well, his opinion. I mean, like I told you, the same economic policy allows opinions here. It is subjective. It is subjective position. That's all right. I mean,
okay. Prof, let me thank you this morning for joining us from University of Cape Coast. I look forward to bringing you to the studio one of these days. Thank you.
If there's something you should know.
Okay. Prof Dagachini and Akasan
for economics. Dear. No one answer is right. You can have it, but the pathways here different. What you are saying? We have something objective analysis, we have subjective analysis. It depends upon how you say it. Yes, neoclassical, exactly, all of them. Different you cannot be bold to say, oh no, dear, right now, I'm not going to mean Casemid, but at this point in time, the reassurances must be there. People, I was saying, I want to say, you were Tibia, a more buying, a buying so young part. The only bia so no oche.
Okay.
Emu krampo no still oche.
Okay.
Inti yamwa na kakra. Na yenhwe se nyame your penance vaccines yi ba wie na by October bia awobi. Na se yahare no abaf homa. Ye ko ye nimu no. Betumi ama niema akoyie e dia amaye. Empo no oye sa no. Onimpo se ochena bi. Se vaccine no ebeba onim enti se wo utima obenya tema e dia maban. Enya aban enti me magana for ehun say eden no monti abaya say
okay mama read the comment we answer na abaya your final comment will be on this question they start here whether or not budget way in the so woman I bet me am economy na san ejina na so ana we're still coming back to it because many messages the question remains unanswered budget we bet me am Ghana ejina na so ana moko debate wo finance committee no so mo san call report back any doc member baba me read the comment we say esinam and our Afia in fact o panelists we are more than good just say enchechemu mo de aba ewo ensem no so no o say in fact enemum e na ote ensem no ase esinam Luciama apasu ni message o de ba no say the panelists are absolutely a delight to watch dachi ma akua multi-purpose say if you may hwa mo pa denta loto kiosk ho rhythm spalo obaima krantima no say if you good job and amoye e studio no ama sai bi edu no say if you abro ya bre pass salary so aban na je say on tumu dia and e catch aban so onyine yie because ye work so ye so ye ntena say 3 years meto salaries mu and e ntia say kra so e da kra Godfred Akman kwe also for say if you no pay I'm enjoying the discussion good job na mo mama say ti eso London no say if you good job and then mo ye na taxes so duty ne ade na ho no mo check ho no ema me whether or not ho no be ma na akosro ana say enkosro ana Michael Stream say and no say if you mo ye adwuma pa good job enkoma panelists na ma Woodalin Adoma o say if you mo any adwuma ma panelists wo ma ye adwuma papa Lord Ketney o say good job if you mo nkoso na mo nye adwuma na I'm enjoying discussion mo dia ma anti akole owuso ntwi o say good morning nkoma panelists na che doc ma me pass wo bo adwuma e wo no mienu nyina ye doc we doctor of economics doctor of medicine
doctor medical
doctor and medicine doctor Beatrice Akula no say if you good job na ene mo ye na my enjoy mo discussion ene mo de aba ni nyina yakopon hya mo na adwuma mo ye no mo nkoso ana mo nkoso na mo fa enkomo no emre omanfo abrantie we so message ode aba ye Nana Kwame Opasco oso nsamo so good morning vim lady I urge all Ghanaians say omo supporting and build the economy no enya ba akofo adwuma ye nyina ya fa ye ho amehye mu a enya de ebetimi aye adwuma nto omo supporting ye nya sese ni no nani RTC o say program na etwi ana say nye twi Professor Gachi ini twi ni nye enti na o say ma no because ye hia ni nim de no enti dey o say no eka brofo no nye obi an oba otimi kan akan kasa no e de ma so Rash no say if I like your show pa very educative nye ni nyina na wo ye politicians who the way ba no de bia ye nya omo wo mfimfini a omo ka ensem no kre no e de ache Ghana for na Amos Abbas adom no say if I'm enjoying your discussion pa Australia na me hwe mo no na Razak Said no say if my lovely program this program pa dey every day say man sha na me kra no me ye ayaro so if you Monchi Glaba. This is a name football made in Germany. Bundesliga and my Musa Eddie Monti Glava. Jamaji said on the Babu Pen Abono in the German Away. Monti Glava made the first win of Macano. And did you perform my German? And now I'm as a Ponkuman, one knows your Dutch Cata. Abraham Nate, not in fact, Nana, why ya dear pa? We have said a actually, Sim said there was to me a channel. Say on there, a buying and I a little disappointed in him. Say was supporting MPP sir but we dey econo enya dia neni eje ho kra William also no say posterity and e be judge ye nyina ye nsema ye kan ye ansa na mode ba power no was posterity and e be busa mo na ye Eric Kwame Duku no see how arrogant and MPP for ni bi kasa was MPP party bi wo Germany omo kasa yesem dwane ade asem wanya asem e wose unya aboche mom na ochechi mum ase omo ka ne say de omo kasa omo epe na deduct was the sad reality in Ghana is that Ghana is governed by the rich and powerful and omo di omo ye ehiafo no so nti sen and oman ne ebeko akwakosie and Joe Man was ungrateful people was enkrofo bi wo no ma I was say region be member region because I'm here to omo ungrateful the aya ma omo nyina no omo mpe e wo ho no omo san busa mo kin me and also all rules and another kate sword ni nyina during elections ni nyina was here esan so no ne checks say mu ba akokra ni won ma oyeye na there's no guarantee cross and second term kwa obeye kin me and no William was say asan be was say Ghanaians be e kai say God gorgeous because oja mark e wo ho na enem penifo mo so say NDC ni MPP mark ben e na omuja e de amagana for abrantie Nana Kokosie no sevim lady Nana Kokosie from Teshi camp na mo ye adwuma papa you looking good too me da se pa and na Francis Kofi say when is the government going to get our money back yeah microfinance service and loans edi yesike ya anti bibia e wo budgeting but when them buying proposals for the financial honorable to be here no amanti dey ba no abo here no ama and adani entry no say Ghana is Ghana should try and introduce council tax said the UK for year no council tax na dey na doc sakode echemu say property tax tema for there you property tax o tema for tua property tax ti akra nyina Ghana nyina besua ye yanka be bo ntitwo ne twa sakofo East Legon for Airport Hills any airport ne tesa no ne ba bi escafo ne tie no wo dan ne value no wetua 1% as property tax ko man ni benya bebre na se be ye omuni eno so ya another issue adachi bi ebe kan wasem Sylvia Dwamna no say NDC didn't do the right thing enti na ye pamo omu free akonya the MPP for maba you are doing the same thing you are telling us that NDC did same can you imagine or see if are you people doing it for us or you are doing it for that very good question honorable Soba no yi Sylvia Dwamna question and YouTube Nana Kwame Opasco Nana Makan question Fifi no say if you see why these people should not be allowed anywhere close to power one MPP for the omode aye Ghana for Joe Man and no say S Gracia or I didn't hear her say it well S Gracia na S Gracia na e kan S Gracia no kosro intia na your friend say Daniel Lenjo say why always NDC is trying to confuse Ghana for Uba UK you tia all these taxes and so Ghana there Uba na the taxes kakra say no ma sheda e the year politics which is sechi and also no jobs for the people even graduates kro nya adwuma nye omu nyina start year galamsey for a living but you politicians and Chinese people mo kan bom and you are spoiling our rivers movie youth no na ebre ono ne dia odi aba we your commenter mo de send here e wo YouTube na Facebook ti edama say YouTube say mo hwe e dia my final comments which is question and ambusa but dog ube answer nipa no say mo yet it for that na e do so mo busa mo question and mo say NDC for e the tax beto condom so ne identity so you say
oh no and say enumpo earlier the one the kind of friend Sylvia yes earlier me can Sylvia earlier me can say yemfa your hon to NDC for so yeah approach different na sem na abantia there you can say nanado obaye be 3 years ago Sylvia taxes be 11 or you free ho ba ko 17.5 real estate ba ko airline 17.5 oye baako so ye eduro ani edi free abrochie ba eno so oye e ma eduro bo oye ni na be ye 11 nti ene no ode miensa beto so esan say bia asema banti a ye bo no na yekoka say bia ye te say the NDC for ye ya na eno no e ya de a ha kakra nti ye de ye fa ye honto NDC for ho ena 5.5 billion so no Sylvia say utia anase wonu yakọ obusa ye no wo hwe a budget no omo pese omo tua omo a omo sika koka mu wo Beige Capital Ideal Finance omo pese yetua 5.5 billion boni kasa dollars 1 billion question is ye konya sasika na fa enso so nanado owotema that is why the budget is obatampa kept budget say owotema o say if ya emu eden ye ni sika enso so no ebisusu sika kokamu a ahokyere aba enti yente tax wo bank for no so banks na omo banks no me no paid na ye kabom a the director baako enso no de baako kra parliament pay menchurch asia wa hase
14,000
na na unze yawo na mkayo say yawo to politics mu a it is said there sebi obi ye sebi pa sebi o ye doctor ni no smoke no nim say smoke ha no so still o say wo men smoke and so echi obekwa ko no so smoke
madam for doctor bi sa
wo say aye addiction and how you have come out in the way but share 11,000 or 14,000 got to car loan 6 ne or welfare ni atini aka now the be 7,000 6,000 ko now what array now sounds we na dey bia ye mommo 4,000 to me dey
ye mommo 4,000
echo kro na dey bia America me
aye ni ade obonsa
ye ko na wo na ye baji wo che dey bia wo di me dey ni say wo say me to dey bia me ma TV radio me ka jo say member me ye MPO me sounds wo me clinic me ye me adwuma e ho na me wife o ma me bi na me de ko afija ase enti say me ma nya me dey na manfa mo me kromufo a ono beji nse MP dey wo bi wo ho so ati ase enti
MP sika no dey mfa mo nko ba bia
efia enti anka de bia anka obi anka odi krom
okay
o krom a afija ase fo etie me o ko krom na asokorefo ye bia no ba edomo ba that is your job as an MP. And so or you have to give something. And about so the school fees or the problems about Sikana wa himfa. And as a duabi work nkanya yes hekedua MP 14 doctor ontia.
The politics na wu tu muninti na wo peno na ye
so it's not about that. So that is why you have to work with your MP na say wo ni edwuma wo ye beboa. Forget it. Wo bracho no be tu su kra asa say wo din kra sa kan. If you ever no ntu nche. Nti wo hwe na say obi bre na say ni sika 5.5 billion. Akoshe Beige, akoshe the asset management companies be 18. Na say wo nua bi de wo na emma ya. Na say yes kroma ye din. And so ye kote tax war bank for so na ye dia koma wo ma NDC for no so omo nti bi da
da bi omo pa che se omo diska no omo emfiska ne mra
na woni
me kotete other banks anya other banks ni
omo bra be fi so na omo nimpa by supervisory report to Bank of Ghana say enko ye
okay
they did not do anything
okay
na ye yaba no sanka na nado eye koma anka by na nka me no mienu sikani na wo bank na nko bi entity mi ntwanka hye into on not taking bold steps say unim bibi yen fan sa na yen fan yin twetua oso say won tiase ya be ma oka akoso ade na wo faa enti anka nkofo sika akamu no anka yenye omode yen
okay
enti se ya budget wey me no mienu bresi ya no yet tax no ye sanso de bia akoma 5.5 billion omo ede omo kanina yentu omo ka it is in the budget 5.5 billion no they are going to pay so whatever steps that they will do no they want to clear all this
5.5 no
so I say even if it will take over a year or 2 or 3 they are going to take tax before profit banks no so no bebre wa brochiro Barclays Bank okwa brochira o mo hwe bo mmese bo to de bia ya mementi ase enti me ha me ho enti se mo pe bo no
EPL
mo hwe bo
Chelsea for
me wo Leeds ne me call in fact I think it's Oxford na me call me advanced work in health economics almost be na me the only African na omo bobo na me sua de so ati ase yen se me pe me de wo ka mti ase enti Black Stars Satellite national teams need has a vim bi wo but vim lady do ho bia into what I am trying to come back and say mo hwe ball no obehu na backless
yeah no advert yeah
advert or sponsor league ni bi enya advert da ben na wo hu backless bank wo Accra Sports Stadium backless oje na sika wia odiko na se na nado se ne mu ka hu bi na problem aba enti ye kwotemu nyina de kakra ansa na modde musika bebiri akom krom a ya obi se ontiase enti anka we mu na o musika akamu no hana nka otia
okay so I want to reassurance pass at least mu de 5.5 mbetu anko fosika e de amomo so that's good but doc final comment budget how will it revive the economy?
I think the budget we no seeks to bring us back to the pre-COVID levels. The baby ani yegina ansa na COVID no be higher no budget no person osade ye kogina ho bio ansa na ye tu America. Nti America to dey nyesi say budget no is not addressing acceleration and growth.
Okay.
The budget is addressing consolidation and recovery. So the ebe kwa kogina baby ani yegina ansa na COVID no be say no nti obobo no ma bebre nti wo hwa ne ma na me hu no free budget mi say production. Nti wo hwa taxes ye ode buy one fan to production so the to consumption. So
yeah.
I think Professor Gachikran also making the point say it's on consumption. And one fan tax into production so or some incentives on producers. A year a hotel for no near more tourism industry now because I'm confident there. COVID no be sell munuma pa nti ho nyina obom na wo hwe scan do na e ko agric because aduane wo mu a na make say the provision of essentials the agric any manufacturing e wo ho a de bia e benya nsuo no benya aduane de benya aduru e wo Ghana ha de atoso mienu e the fiscal consolidation na so say bosia na wo bo no obete so America na wo tu no obete so na afi bobosia na bi nso afi domestic market na afi aye domestic resource mobilization ebia na eto ye odi abeba me dey feel say nka won extend to other sources of revenue no here the other one is social programs ya come be leap ni o mu even insuo ni nkan ya asemi nyina na me say Ghana for be nyanti ase say aban to aso up to June enti se bia na okoto na emu ato a budget no nya approve
the nya budget na ma unsio na cost
omu approve budget na ensio na the na mo enjoy last year na mo tua na kakra bu as below 50 cedis a untua hwe no ebesa aba be next week no mo approve budget na wi enti enkani ya ensio kan
nya the be check Ghana for akosi June
ebe kwa akosi June be che o mo akosi June no na me ka say social protect safety net no as safety net say what pay nyina say enkoto amnem na aban say da bi ahiafo na wo mo meda net so mo am scan dem nkoto amnam because mo ho odin mo pra mo benya scan to adro ba hiafo no o mo pra o mo nyanti wo pia mo no na osa de net akosa ase aso hiafo no say am mo safety net say da be ya mo nya my last point digitization me person na nado ewie ne term with two things with the legacy two things local production honorable can import asem because in can bit much 1,000 cities and 5,000 cities but what they come in pakre or they koto ade bia ya crafty abroche na haba enti se yenyina ye nyame adom special as wa local production enti ye local production na ye nsu na ye crafty abonene ne num special as ye local production enti local production mpese na do di jaye se obaye enuro se na ne ye crafa na wate so sugar se na ye cra sugar poultry ni rice eno nko afa Ghana cocoa ska nyina sugar poultry ni rice asichire emo eni akoko nam Ghana sika yedi cocoa na ye nanaну cocoa no mu akra se Ghana sika ye nyan export no se ye kra asichire emo eni akoko nam a skanasa enti yente so ana digitization there his excellency Bawumia was started digitization no omuntu as because na be boama ya wastage na system no digitization na be boama ya sisi ni nyina no kwan
doc final comment on a hono how to revive the economy na yenja wonko parliament
yeah me that's baby obviously you know I agree with him I say a better various areas are a tax abua yentimi aligning the net say a better bit me in our taxes so the property tax and all that stuff be a bit to me the research that has been done I a bit to me increase your tax broaden your tax net na yama obi bia say bi owo bi obetimi edibia to hodi aboa eman no something I will do. Okay. And also even the informal sector no many people so omuntu ebi wo no mo a or a trader or adwadini other people wo mu bebre so a ebetimi say Afia be streamline. When the system is properly digitalization it me ye adwuma properly. Bom say ebechi obia then your national ID card no and also your insurance and also what tax identification. Enti say yet miss penisika de nya obia afi ye binya bebia o data bebia obia ye adwuma oya den a we know in the month who pay, who does not pay, and who has to pay. Then we can go forward as a country. Enti I think so say taxes are yetimi ede eba abeboa ye ho abeso aban mu no. You see road tolls, you be increase the road tolls. I think exceptional thing we have to do as a government. You know, sir, I would say to me also show, said the quantitative measure, says this time around, or the impact, as many roads, and these are the roads, because see, people want to see value.
I think you better another conversation here in a sector by sector. Into road fund over the years ahina akọ road fund mu dia ne dey say road fund na
TV sir so person ya hwe me jaja
so dey munze me no dey because bra nya sa me report o kwa my wife em say for em fancy anu say fast that kese em ma o say wo hwe yen just before ye be kono ayi friend say Nana Kwame Opasco na wo ka say a good program and never enjoy Dr. Are you a free any explanation or the ban na Charles Benteria so or London or say my enjoy program no pa Charles that's so all the way or London money RTC no civil lady street naming and addresses no seriously and fast improving the government mailing money near there mailing near bemena Ghana high to me what I say be your house number cry be mailing to once and Sorash or say if your show is the best chair honorable Dr. Nanaya a free Nana are you a free any Dr. Sarkodie so Emma Mebuza for see us in the massive yanda production team no so as say no many at na free no watch BBC Sabre wa share so that's a patch pet special ice mineral water enum and adoka kan local production e be Ghana economy and sign Ghana niema ho enkoto de obi di aba ba de Ghana ni ya de wapam we mi to Ghana he ya Ghana ni en wono apempam na de ena mkoto enti ye mo Ghana fo no na ye nyina ye nko ye nim na at least o man no so enyina ne na so na ye anye politics bia se da kese nkoma member of the finance committee or no so afag sha se ana afag for fire bebre nyina na Dr. Ayu Free ono na odi ani ma afag for free afag ena okojina se mrahye bedwani e wo na bato beso ase ne odi ababetna studio hanu ma parliament cross city ene ba yewia no ene edi na betna ha no oye mrahye bedwani wo efija ase asokore ho no odi mrahye bedwani as member of the finance committee so nti ya da se ono abo so ba ya be kan ho yewia wo time the whole day nti na oko finance committee ya da se o but o munim se wa be sum o my Ghana ya da se Samson from economics department University of Ghana Legon ye doctor ni ba ko pe ye ni ho agro krade bia ye ne no a ena onya aboche be cheche economics numbers ni ade ye journalist ye lay people nya na etumi ate Dr. Edu Owusu sa akode economics department University of Ghana busia for enda wase production na cameraman ne director of photography Prince and producer obia nkosi economics kakra me say me di we check business
as a medical doctor when I went there 2007 or 8 to study economics they were wondering. But you see, economics is good. Oh, meanwhile, Obia, Miss Obia economic policy.
Dr. Kobe Mensa na say or friend me say
Lord Mensa
Dr. Lord Mensa Kobe the other communication Lord Mensa or friend me say me be economic management
school me try by economics
okay say me business school
Lord Mensa hate you
o say me forget law no kra na me ma me
law no we am be EPM Dr. Bay
say law no come na atwema so ti dey nya hwe me economics But I was saying, I'm going to let's get busy. I'm going to